Service.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Week, the Missouri Senate passed House Joint Resolution 173 and 174 to put more money back in the pockets of hardworking Missouri families across our state. Missouri needs tax reform to retain and attract small businesses, to keep families here in Missouri, and to grow our economy. Eliminating the individual income tax represents the largest middle-class tax cut in the state's history. Right now, every working family has a portion of their paycheck withheld before they even have a chance to see it or spend it. This legislation begins the process of eliminating that burden and puts more money back in the pockets of Missouri families by keeping more of what they earn. Missouri now has the opportunity to join a growing number of states that have eliminated the state income tax. These states are seeing increased competition for jobs, residents, and investment. This approach to tax reform positions Missouri to compete for generations to come, and we are proud of the work that Senate Republicans did to pass this important legislation.
So there you have a video summing up something that I know a lot of you Missourians who've been listening to 97.1 and listening to the coverage I'm certain that Mark and Mark have had on this really, really exciting thing for the future of the state of Missouri regarding the elimination of the state income tax. It's not like they pass it and it's done. It's a little more complicated than that, and you, the voter, are going to be involved in that process. We're excited to have Governor Kehoe on with us in an hour from now. So keep it right here, and we'll speak with Missouri Governor Kehoe about this process. It's been a really important initiative of his, and we're going to understand the whole process of how Missouri is going to potentially be able to enjoy in an amount of time, should it pass, the opportunity to be an income tax-free state. Pretty incredible. How many Illinoisans right now are going, all right, fine, that's it. I know there might be a few of you out there. The YouTube poll for today, what's your best explanation for the dead and missing scientists? Have you watched the video yet, Ryan?
No, I went to last night, and then my son asked me to play chess, and I had to.
You should have watched the video with your son.
I guess I could have, but I
and
had to focus.
My son asked me to play chess.
He did. And I played him, and he beat me for the first time ever. It was a moment.
Yeah?
Yeah, and that took away from all of my free time, Annie.
Are you good at chess?
No.
Okay.
I'm okay, but he is now studying chess.
Yeah. It's a very popular thing for kids to do now.
Is it?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense. And he whooped me twice. So.
Well, I played poker with my kid last night, so.
Oh, yeah?
We, too, were learning the ways of the world. The interview that we did with Congressman Burleson earlier this week there's definitely a lot of traction that has come from it, and I encourage you to go check out the Odyssey app podcast, the Annie Frey Show podcast there, so that you can see what we're talking about with what Eric Burleson was talking about regarding the missing scientists, the dead scientists. There's been a lot of conversation around this topic, and it's not just Eric Burleson, of course, that is highlighting it. Tim Burchett, we played some sound from him yesterday where he was talking about that, among other things. You got to wrap aliens into this conversation because there are UAP questions that surround part of these disappearances. The New York Post has an article out today, and it's by Richard Polina. And he writes, Congressman Tim Burchett says seeing pictures and videos of things that defy any reason convinced him that aliens exist, and demanded the government come clean to the American people about its knowledge of extraterrestrials. Burchett appeared on News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas Reports on Tuesday, earlier this week here, days after President Trump said the Pentagon would release documents on unidentified aerial phenomena. That's that UAP thing that you're hearing, the new UFO, very, very soon. These people are seeing something out there, he said, of the recent uptick in UFO sightings across the United States. So this is where you see, when we talked with Congressman Burleson about this, he was very clear in his statement saying, I've not seen any evidence of aliens. But obviously there are a mounting amount of evidence that suggests the UAP phenomenon. There's technology that exists and it's circling. As I asked him, do they come up in the same kind of places? Is there a consistency? And he said, yeah, nuclear sites and nuclear submarines. So you have to ask yourself upon listening to his interview, but also what you're going to continue to hear from people like Burchett and Burleson and others who are saying, yeah, there's really something here and the government needs to come clean on what they know. Congressman Burchett says seeing pictures and videos of things that defy reason convinced him that aliens exist. He is making a tie to aliens, to extraterrestrial life. He went on to say, I've seen pictures and videos of things that defy any reason that we have. And everybody says, well, it's our stuff. It's the Russians. It's the Chinese. However, Burchett, a member of the House Task Force on the Declassification of Federal Secrets, wouldn't that be a fun task force to be on? I don't know if I'd really want to know. Dismissed the idea that what's being spotted is man-made technology. So you got Burchett out there saying, no, he thinks that this is aliens, and Burleson saying, I haven't seen any evidence of those aliens quite yet. Somebody's calling me. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Just kidding.
Okay, I can take over.
No, not yet.
Oh.
I've just muted it. Sorry. Busy morning. I just am asking myself, when I hear a congressman, Tim Burchett, demand that these things be disclosed, I don't know that all of this stuff needs to be disclosed. I'm not 100% sure that I need to know everything that there is to know.
I want to know all of it.
I know you want to.
The exact opposite of what you just said.
I know you want to.
I want to know everything.
Yeah, but if you know everything, then everybody knows everything.
That's how you discern what the truth is. You get the most
And then
information.
what do you do with it?
You can have a better outlook on life. You have a more realistic outlook of what's real.
So the possibility that there is some sort of what I think our poll is asking you today, what's the best explanation for the dead and missing scientists? Do you think it's foreign interference? It's the U.S. industrial complex, aliens, or you don't think there's any conspiracy and no explanation is needed? Barring there being no conspiracy and no explanation needed, the other three elements, the more people who know, the more dangerous it is for more people.
Well, I'm not saying that we should know because, like, all of the ramifications of that. I'm just saying, in principle, I want to know as much as possible as a person.
But in principle also comes with the reality that information, secrets that might exist in a way that because they're secretive, they protect us. Don't you believe that there are things that the government needs to hold super top secret from the American people?
Well,
because if you hold it secret from the American people, you're holding it secret from our enemies as well.
Because, and that's why they do it. If it involves foreign
Who's
influence,
they? And
our
who
government,
is what?
Our government. If it involves foreign influence, or if it involves some sort of top technology that we have that we don't want others to have,
yeah,
that I understand. If it's aliens, I want to know.
Well, then...
Because I don't know why you would need to hold that back. People might freak out a little bit, but let them freak out.
But if it's aliens and there is an... Do you expect if let's just play in this world here real quick. If these are really UAPs that are coming from alien life forms that are here, that are looking over our power sources, because obviously nuclear is weaponry, but it's also power. Do you think that there's any element of that should be proprietary to the people who could potentially defend or communicate? Or do you think everybody willy-nilly should have the same information?
Well,
because the enemy is an adversary until they're not.
Yeah, if it's just UAPs, which is all that's being discussed right now.
No, you said aliens.
Yeah,
that's the point.
If it's just UAPs, though, then that could be technology that's either foreign or domestic, and therefore I
You're
understand
talking in
not knowing.
circles. No. Stop. You just said if it's aliens, you want to know.
Yes.
And so in your thought experiment here, where it is aliens and you want to know, I'm saying if it were extraterrestrial aliens, isn't there still an element of defense that would have to exist among the minds of the people who know what we have and and probably what other countries have? Isn't there an element of secrecy that would still need to be maintained in order to properly defend ourselves? I don't know how Ryan Wiggins or Annie Frey knowing everything about it is going to make us safer.
All I know is that in a representative democracy, I'm going to vote for people who will be transparent with that information.
What information?
The information of if they know it's Martians, if they know it's aliens. If it's not like, oh, we don't know, then
Why
it's
is
okay.
it different to know that it's Martians than to know that it's Russians?
Because if it's Russians, it's a foreign threat, and that's intelligence that I don't need to know. If it's aliens, that could change your whole worldview
It's actually,
on life.
aliens would be a foreign threat as well, though.
If they're a threat. We don't know that they're a threat.
But you don't-
Russia definitely is. We don't know that aliens are a threat.
We don't know that Russians' technology is necessarily being used to threaten us.
They're an adversary for sure, though.
But why would you? How would you know that if Russians are flying UAPs over our nuclear science areas? Why would you know that that was a threat?
Well, we don't know. That's my point. I don't need to know that. I know that Russia is, if they're behind it, they are a threat.
But so you're saying if Russia is investing in flying something over our nuclear sites, that it's a threat?
Yeah.
Because why? How do you know that?
Because they're an adversary, just like China. If China's doing this, this is basically Cold War territory.
To my point, you wouldn't know if the Martians were adversaries, so you can't take the, put your powdered wig on Democratic Republic stance of saying, well, I should know because this is a democracy, if we don't know if they're adversarial or not.
Well, I guess that is a split point, because I'm not saying that if we knew aliens existed, we would know their motives at all.
Correct. And you'd have to assume first that they were going to be hostile.
I don't know. I mean, you'd have to sort of be ready for the possibility. But I think that's a bigger deal than just one nation protecting itself. That seems like something the whole world would want to know about. And maybe we could even work together on some things.
Yes, but it's not going to be Ryan Wiggins calling the Russian midday show in, what name of Russian town?
Kiev.
Is it?
No,
not,
it's Ukraine.
That's not yet. Oh, also in news.
There you go.
I mean, it's not going to be.
I was trying to think of anything other than Moscow.
It's not. Well, Moscow would have been fine. I couldn't come up with that.
should've.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be us and them coming together to solve this problem. That's
I mean,
crazy.
look, minimizing the fact that I'm a nobody is very true. I'm a nobody. I just am telling you personally, I would like to know that information.
Well, I understand that you would like to, but and my point of you being a nobody, which is not my point, is that the nobodies out there who wouldn't be in favor of collectively combating a threat would also have that information. I'm not calling you a nobody. I'm calling you a non-issue, kind of an NPC in the everybody knows this. If everybody knows this, then everybody knows it. If you know it, if I know it, then everybody knows it. It's not a secret anymore. Don't you feel as though that we have to have government secrets that include our capabilities and our capacity to defend ourselves against threats, both foreign, domestic, and extraterrestrial?
Since the conversation about aliens goes back to like the 40s, and maybe even before that, but that's at least when the lore started.
I don't know what that means.
That would be like Roswell. So like that's when aliens started to become a part of the conversation. Do we have extraterrestrials?
I think aliens have been part of the conversation for longer than that.
Maybe so, but I'm just saying, like, as far as pop culture and the government being involved and all that, let's say we have almost 90 years worth of information that we don't know about. The government's been collecting. And we've never had any attacks from any aliens on us. Well, I'm ready to make that public now and say we do have a lot of information.
You could say the same thing about Iran.
We think that
They've
there's
never attacked us here.
Well, they're weaker than us. Aliens obviously would be way more advanced
I don't
than
think
us,
that's
and
obvious.
they haven't done it. Well, their technology would be if these UAPs are alien. It's way beyond anything like Burleson
What if
said.
some of them are, huh? You didn't listen to the interview.
I've recapped it about 50 times with you guys.
Okay. All right. Let's go to a break. Yeah. We want your thoughts on this, on your assessment of what is behind the dead and missing scientists, because I know there are going to be people out there who think that it's just it just happened, and it's unfortunate, but it happened. But I think a lot of you are more heavy into something is going on here. Do you think it's foreign interference? Do you think it's the U.S. industrial complex? Do you think it's aliens? Or do you think there's no conspiracy and there's no explanation needed? YouTube.com/@AnnieFrey to vote in today's YouTube live chat poll. You can text us in the Annie Frey Show text line as well, 314-241-9797. HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com. That rain has been coming down, and I heard it this morning, and I thought, oh, that's nice. I love the sound of rain in the morning. And then I thought, gosh, if you or somebody who had a leaky basement like we did in our prior house before we moved into the one we have right now, it would just be a bummer. You just hope that when you went down into the basement, it didn't get worse than the last time. You can call Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair and get ahead of the next storm and make sure that your basement is waterproofed once and for all. 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. Matt Hayes runs, owns, and operates with his family Home Shield Foundation Repair right here out of St. Louis. You're working with St. Louisans when you hire Home Shield Foundation Repair to do the job. Call 314-271-9900. HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group, as they show you how to create a worry-free retirement. It's Tuesday, April 28th at the Doubletree Hotel in Chesterfield at 6:30. Here are Thomas and Bob with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and would like to know how to turn your 401k and IRA into a worry-free retirement? Would you like to learn the investment strategy that gives you market growth while avoiding the market losses at the same time?
Would you like to get your free personalized retirement income plan? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free and have a worry-free retirement? If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Have a worry-free retirement and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw. It's at the Doubletree Hotel in Chesterfield, Tuesday, April 28th at 6:30 p.m. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Down. It is stifling Iran's economy and backing the regime into a corner. Good morning, everybody. I'm Martha McCallum. Bill and Dana are off. So you got the other Bill Malugin, a great Bill, and I in for you this morning. Great to have you with us.
Great to be with you. Happy Friday. We'll see if we can hold the ship down for them while
exactly.
they're gone.
We'll try.
I'm Bill Malugin. This is America's Newsroom. The U.S. is shoring up their forces in the Middle East. Now with the arrival of the USS George H.W. Bush, this marks the first time in 20 years that 3 U.S. aircraft carriers have all been deployed to the region.
Those vessels carrying 15,000 sailors and Marines and more than 200 aircraft. This is an extraordinary show of force. Imagine if you're facing this, right? I mean, this is an incredible show of force by the American military, and it's centered all around the area, obviously, of the Strait of Hormuz, where you see these tiny dots that don't move too much on either side of that choke point. Now, the Pentagon says it's taking complete control of the area, most of it out in the Gulf of Oman, and that they have successfully ended Tehran's leverage on this key shipping lane.
Our blockade is growing and going global. America's military is...
So, sorry about that. That was a bad clip. I'm watching every morning I wake up and I say to myself, okay, is this going to be the day that something really cracks? Is it going to be the day that President Trump shows back up and throws the bombs back in Iran and levels the bridges and the power plants? Is this the day that they're finally going to find the person who they're going to negotiate with? Is this the day that somehow or another the IRGC is going to lay down their weapons and turn over control of Iran to the people that have been opposed to what the IRGC and the Ayatollah have been doing for so long? And every day it kind of seems to be a little bit of the same. A lot of posturing. And we've talked about this before, too. I don't really know how much of what there's so much information that comes out of this administration. When you think back to 4 years ago when the Biden administration was up there, how we would go weeks without seeing the president of the United States. Karine Jean-Pierre would go to the podium in the press room, and what she would offer was repeated phrases like, I've been clear on this. We've been crystal clear. We're really clear-eyed. She'd say that over and over again, and then she'd say nothing that was clear whatsoever. And what this administration is doing while they're at war is coming out every day with explanations about where they are. It's almost as if we get to be in a daily briefing that the military is investing in to make sure that we understand what's going on. I question if these daily briefings are good for the progress of the American understanding of the issue. Maybe they are. I also always have to remember that there's a lot that is potentially not being paid attention to by the American public. I was meeting with a friend and they told me, they're like, can you explain to me what's going on with this Iran situation? She goes, I'm going to be honest. The gas prices is what gets me the most, but very open and honest about caring about and not begrudging what is taking place in Iran. But there very much so was it, can you explain to me why I should be okay with these $4 gas prices? And we talked about it, and she was like, that makes complete sense. I think that the patriotic duty of paying a little bit more in gas right now so that we don't have to incur a nuclear warhead from Iran when they wake up one day and decide it's the day to be crazy, that is a generational investment from our country and this administration in our protection. I think it is America first. I've felt that from the very beginning, knowing that this war has been going on for decades, to some extent, very passive-aggressive war by Iran, and the way that they fund terrorism and the way that they push into all of these different areas, destabilize them, and then take over. There are many Americans who have died at the hands of Iran directly or terror funded by Iran, and that has to be stopped. And I appreciate that we have an administration that is willing to do what it takes to actually stop it once and for all. And I know in my heart of hearts, and I think you do too, that we got to see the job all the way through. You can't get politically weak-kneed right now because people are like, but gas is $4. People weren't complaining about gas being like this when Joe Biden was in office enough to target the Biden administration. And you didn't see all of the different news outlets that would protect the administration over and over and again talking to you about gas prices. They just talked about other things. It was biased by story selection. They very conveniently leave stories on the cutting room floor because they don't want to have to talk about it. They talk about it, then the administration has to defend it. This administration will talk to you about pretty much everything and anything. Here's Secretary of War Pete Hegseth.
IRGC specifically has been reduced to a gang of pirates with a flag. They cloak their aggression in slogans, but the world now sees them for what they are: criminals on the high seas. They don't control anything. They're acting like pirates, acting like terrorists. They're the ones who lay indiscriminate mines, who shoot at random ships, who killed 45,000 of their own people, innocent protesters in the course of weeks. Their own people. They are the bad actors. The vessels that the Iranians seized in recent days, a couple of them, they're not American ships. They're not Israeli ships. They're just random ships that drove where they drove their little speedboats up to and shot at those ships with AK-47s. Anyone with a speedboat, a gun, and the wrong intentions can do that. They know that we, the United States of America, control the flow of global shipping. And we know that they know. Their real navy is at the bottom of the Arabian Gulf.
So the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, making it crystal clear what the reality is in this situation. And so we get to the point now where, okay, we get it. The Iran Navy is at the bottom of the sea, but we're still over there. We're still maintaining things. We're still fighting things. Where is the end, and what does the end look like? I think this clip that we have here from Senator Cotton, I appreciate because understanding that what Iran does is it waits out strong presidents in the United States till a weak president shows up over and over and over again. Their MO is to wait it out. And they don't have to worry about the consequences of bad politics because they don't live in a world where what the people think matters, as evidenced by the tens of thousands of Iranian people who have lost their lives at the hand of the IRGC and the Iranian government. When you listen to how Senator Cotton puts this, I think it's a well-phrased assessment.
Yeah, Sean, I think this is the typical Iranian playbook. They're trying to tap America along. Iran has never won a war, but they've never lost a negotiation. But they never sat across the table negotiating with the guy that wrote The Art of the Deal. President Trump has proven time and again, from the Soleimani strike to Operation Midnight Hammer to Operation Epic Fury, that he won't allow the Iranians to tap him along. He just reiterated the...
So listening to Senator Cotton there explain that Iran's effort is to negotiate in a way that it never ends. So here we are at the end of the Iranian Navy being at the bottom of the sea, of all of their leaders being taken out to the extent that we don't actually know who to talk directly to. The last Pakistan meeting that took place, they had 30 plus Iranian dignitaries there to talk about it, and apparently they all were yelling at each other the entire time. So it's like, how do you have a negotiation with people who have to negotiate with themselves before they could ever negotiate with us? I think the definition of peace here for the Americans is going to be the complete and total obliteration of Iran's ability to have a nuclear weapon. And whatever happens in Iran after that, Iran has had a lot of opportunity to come to the table where they could minimize the damage, and they're just not doing it. President Trump doesn't seem to be bothered by the timeline of it. And he consistently, I had this conversation yesterday with KT McFarland. She was on, and one of the questions I asked her, I was like, did we kill too many people? If we could do this over again, is it possible that maybe we should have left one or two people to negotiate with? And she kind of gave in hindsight, it's possible that maybe, essentially suggesting that maybe it'd be nice if there were still some people around to negotiate with. But at the same time, whatever iteration of government that Iran assembles next, it's not going to have any of those people that were part of the last one to build upon. I don't know that we would be able to decimate the Iranian nuclear program and weapons program the way we are doing it right now, to take it all the way to its conclusion, hopefully, and potentially get a government in there that would want to still scream death to America by leaving a few people alive to lead these negotiations. The president is not in a hurry.
If you look at what I said, I guess it was right, because I said I'd have it 4 to 6 weeks, and in 4 weeks we have totally defeated that military.
But you began
so right now, I don't want to rush it because you guys are, trying to make us look as bad as possible. I don't want to rush it. I want to take my time. We have plenty of time, and I want to get a great deal. I want to get a deal where our nation and the world is safe from lunatics with nuclear weapons. Yeah.
So President Trump from the Oval Office there highlighting that they've accomplished the goal of decimating. They use the word decapitating. I don't like that word. They've accomplished that goal. Now what happens next? It's going to maybe take some time, and he's okay with that. We'll get you updates as they happen, if they happen throughout the course of today. Seems like there's been a lot of action that has taken place in this conflict on Friday. I don't know if anything's going to happen today, but you're in the right place for that breaking news when it happens. A reminder, we've got Governor Mike Kehoe on coming up at 1:05, so stick around about 30 minutes. Governor Mike Kehoe, 58th governor of the state of Missouri, is going to talk to us about the elimination of the state income tax for Missouri. Is it actually going to happen? Let's talk to the governor about it in 30 minutes. We've got the Be or Not the Be with Wiggins also in about 15 minutes. We'll be right back.
Spring is here in St. Louis, and if you're thinking about selling, now's the time. But timing is only part of it. Hey, it's Mark Cox, and I'm with Gloria Liu, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, why is it still so important to choose the right realtor?
Simple. Not every home is selling fast or for top dollar. Here's the difference. I already have the buyers. With over 2,400 buyers in waiting, I'm not just listing your home. I'm matching it with demand. That's how I offer my guaranteed sale program. We sit down, agree on the price and timeline, and if your home doesn't sell, I'll buy it myself. But my goal isn't to buy your home, it's to sell it for the most money possible in the least amount of time. And that's exactly what my system does. My clients don't have to hope their home sells. I guarantee it.
If you're selling your home this spring, call the one I trust, Gloria Liu, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession.
License number GL2500615.
Hey, it's good to hear you.
Hey, Dad, isn't it good to see ya?
Yep, but with smoke alarms, we need to hear them. If one alarm is downstairs, you might not hear it upstairs.
At school, everyone hears the fire alarm.
That's why we install hardwired smoke alarms that all go off together, just like school.
Smoke alarms done the right way.
Green is always grasser at grasserhomeservices.com.
Men. Need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
It's Friday. Let's dive into the YouTube live chat poll. The question is, what's your best explanation for the dead and missing scientists? Hopefully you've been paying attention to this story. Your options are, it's foreign influence, it's the U.S. industrial complex, it's aliens, or there is no conspiracy. No explanation is needed. Let us know which is your choice among those choices given, and we'll give you the results at the end of the show. It is 12:35. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. From Fenton to Fairview, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. There's some news out of the Justice Department. They have announced today, according to this Robert McGreevy, Jay Gibson article on FoxNews.com, the Department of Justice on Friday directed the Bureau of Prisons to expand death penalty protocols to include pentobarbital injections and firing squads as part of broader actions to strengthen the federal death penalty. The DOJ memo said, quote, today, the Department of Justice acted to restore its solemn duty to seek, obtain, and implement lawful capital sentences, clearing the way for the department to carry out executions once death-sentenced inmates have exhausted their appeals. Among the actions taken are readopting the lethal injection protocol utilized during the first Trump administration, expanding the protocol to include additional manners of execution, such as the firing squad, and streamlining internal processes to expedite death penalty cases. Anybody got a problem with the firing squad?
No, I've actually heard it's one of the most compassionate ways to do.
You got a good firing squad.
Well, and because the people doing it don't know which one of them did it.
Yeah.
Which I think is true of other methods too, but that's certainly true of a firing squad.
The cost is a lot lower.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true too. Yeah,
I struggle with the whole death penalty process that we have because there people will be on death row for like decades. I don't understand that. I mean, there are certainly people who have evidence that shows up with new DNA technologies 20 years later while they're still sitting in death row, and all of a sudden they're like, they're not the guy. Holy crap. But there are just some cases where, I don't know. I get the justice system. I guess, people can make mistakes, or juries could be wrong, or judges could be wrong. But there are some people who just get that firing squad out and get it done.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't say the majority because I don't know the facts, but I know that there are a lot of them who just game the system and they just sue for
appeal.
Anything. Appeal. And I think the way that it works is
Tyler Robinson is doing that right now. They're just doing every single sort of obstructive thing they can to make the process. You could put in a request, and that maybe the court has to acknowledge the request that moves everything back a month. Mm-hmm. So it's just another month. Utah is a death penalty state. He could be up for the death penalty.
I think ultimately it requires a court or a judge to say that's enough. Like all of the lawsuits that you've put forth have been denied and frivolous, and that's enough. Because I think if you have an open lawsuit in litigation, they can't go through with the firing squad or whatever it is, the death penalty.
I just think that the firing squad is I think there are people who request it too. I mean, I think that at times there are, I don't know if it's always the case that you can request your method of execution, but you ever see The Green Mile?
Yeah.
It's a Stephen King.
It's been a while.
Do you know it's a Stephen King movie?
I think so.
That they've got the electric chair in there. All those people are on death row. That movie is impressed upon my existence. I don't want to ever watch it again. It's a good movie, but I don't need it. It's too emotionally heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Boss.
Isn't that the one where they have the fireflies at the end and it becomes almost supernatural, which would mean it's Stephen King, right?
I don't think it's supernatural. No.
No, maybe I'm thinking of a different movie then.
The Green Mile is a huge black dude. I can't remember what his name is. Tom Hanks is like the guard, and
Michael Clark Duncan.
He's on death row, and I think he killed somebody, but I think that the reason why he killed him is morally justified in the movie. But the movie is basically about death row and an electric chair, and they use descriptive language in that movie to talk about what that experience is like, and I remember the scene about the last meal and all that stuff, and it's just, I don't. Mm-mm.
It's a really good movie. That is a part of that movie. It's at the end. John Coffey is his name in the movie.
John Coffey, that's right.
He exhales a swarm of insect creatures, and that's where it almost becomes supernatural.
Was part of his healing powers.
Yes, he had healing power. Exactly. So that wasn't. It was at the end. It's like it crosses over into, now it's Stephen King for sure.
Yeah, I was surprised at the end that was a Stephen King movie because I didn't think it was scary. I thought it was intense, and I thought, like you're saying, there's a supernatural element to it. I don't know if maybe I don't know enough about Stephen King because I may not just stick around to the end. I mean, even the movie It's just a really scary movie about like Joe Schmo who looks like a psychopath that dresses up like a clown. That's why that initial It is so scary because it looks like a crazy person, kind of like the same thing as Heath Ledger's Joker. He looks like a person who's lost his mind, who got access to some Walgreens makeup and slapped it on his face and is now going to do some crazy-ish before he goes out with a bang. But Stephen King movies, they tend to have some sort of, pulsing, mounting intensity to them, but then at the end they go off the reservation. I don't know, maybe I just don't stick around for it.
What's funny is that you described why people hate his books, because he's such a good writer.
Don't hate him enough to not. He's pretty successful.
Oh, he's very successful, but the criticism of Stephen King is that he writes this amazing story and he can't end it.
And then he goes nuts.
He doesn't know how to end it.
Patrick says Shawshank Redemption, Stephen King. Yes, an incredible movie. Shawshank Redemption's in my top 5 favorite movies. I love that movie. And that movie doesn't have any sort of, it's just an incredible story.
Stand By Me.
I've never seen that.
I haven't either, but it's not a supernatural movie.
All right, you got to be or not to be?
Yeah, let's go.
Wiggins America next here on the Annie Frey Show. Go vote in the YouTube poll. What's your best explanation for the dead and missing scientists? Foreign interference, U.S. industrial complex, aliens. There's nothing to see here. Move along. We'll be right back.
97.1 FM Talk in Action is spotlighting Our Ladies Inn, providing safe shelter, care, and support for pregnant women and children facing homelessness. Since 1982, they've helped local families build stable, independent futures. Learn more at OurLadiesInn.org.
Hey, it's Mark Cox. Take your lawn from good to great with my friends at Lawn Enforcement. I'm talking expert lawn care services to keep your lawn in order. And here's what they'll do for you. Anybody can mow your grass. At Lawn Enforcement, they want to enhance your property. They'll do the mowing and the trimming. They'll fertilize and implement a weed control program and erosion control, which includes retaining walls if you need it. They can landscape. They can design and install your flowers, your shrubs, your trees, all of your hardscapes. No project is too big or too small for my friends at Lawn Enforcement. You can check them out online at yourlawnenforcement.com. So instead of envying your neighbor's lawn, your neighbors are going to be wishing they had the lawn and landscape that you have. Go ahead and enjoy your space. Be proud when you entertain your friends and your family. They've been in business for over 30 years. Be sure and tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to yourlawnenforcement.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-948-7878. That's 800-948-7878.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. I've had the privilege of seeing miracles, broken families rebuilt, every crash, every workplace injury, every medical mistake. Fighting back can work. We've gone toe-to-toe with insurance giants, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion recovered. Size matters. Reputation matters. Results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's happy Friday to you. There is a report, a Fox News alert that just came out that says that Carolyn Leavitt has confirmed that there is movement on the Iran negotiations. So we're going to watch and see if there is any sort of actual details behind that, but we will see Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff go to Pakistan. And as I said, Carolyn Leavitt has said there is movement there. Also, speaking of Carolyn Leavitt and movement, she was just outside today.
This will likely be my last gaggle for some time. As you can see, I'm about ready to have a baby any minute. So I will see you guys very soon. I know you'll be in very good hands with my team here at the White House. And I know all of you have the president's phone number personally. So I have no doubt that you'll have a shortage of statements and news from this building while I'm gone. So
Carolyn Leavitt is due. I don't remember exactly what the due date was. I'm not 100% sure they even actually put out a specific due date, but I knew it was in May, and it's gonna be May. You know what they say. So she looks fantastic. I'm happy for her. She's going to have another baby. A reminder, Carolyn Leavitt is 28 years old. That is absolutely incredible, and expecting baby number 2 for her. So best wishes and prayers for a healthy delivery and a healthy baby. Let's get to Wiggins America.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! The bee or not the bee?
These are, as usual, every Friday at this time, a series of stories. Some of them are fake satire from the Babylon Bee. Some of them are real headlines. I will read that headline. You will tell me whether you think it's fake or real. First one. Democrats devastated to learn America is less racist than they thought.
That's the Bee, and also true. That is truth written by the Bee.
Yeah,
yes,
Bee.
It is the Bee. With news breaking this morning that many apparent racists were actually just undercover investigators, or instigators, paid millions of dollars by the Southern Poverty Law Center to pretend to be racist, Democrats were left crushed. Quote, there are way fewer racists in America than we thought. It's simply awful, said Democrat Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. I am personally devastated to learn that no one really cares about the color of other people's skin. Learning that these instigators were doing this for cash, it's a bitter pill to swallow.
I'm surprised that they didn't write that as they took credit for the downtick in perceived racism that exists.
Right. They usually pin this on Schumer, too. The Bee loves Schumer, but they didn't do that one with Schumer. Hakeem Jeffries. All right, next one. U.S. sailor attacked by monkey while preparing to minesweep Strait of Hormuz.
Sounds plausible.
Yeah, it's too bizarre to be fake, so I'm going to say real.
You guys are correct. This is a real story. Again, the headline is U.S. sailor attacked by monkey while preparing to minesweep Strait of Hormuz. It says, during a stopover in Phuket, Thailand, I'm being very careful, a Navy electronics technician encountered the monkey on shore and was scratched. It's unclear what kind of monkey was involved, but long-tailed macaques are common in Thailand.
I think, are you getting played here?
Am I going to play it?
I said, are you getting played?
Oh, no, this is real. This is a real story. They can be particularly aggressive. It says to ensure he had adequate medical care, the sailor was evacuated to the chief's forward base in Sasebo, Japan. What a heck of a way to get sent home from a mission. If that's a fake story, they went to a lot of trouble.
Sounds like a fake story you'd write.
To add a lot of detail.
That sounds like something out of the four corners of your brain.
Well, there are words in here that I had to be very careful in pronouncing. Like the city in Thailand, which I'm not going to say again because I have to be too careful when I say it. Next one. Nation excitedly gathers for annual tradition of seeing whose career will be killed by the Cleveland Browns.
Sounds like a B draft article.
I think it's real.
This could, I guess, like it could be a comedically real.
I mean, you're talking about the NFL draft and somebody losing it because the Cleveland Browns drafted wrong.
No, this is the B. This is the B. It says, in what has become one of America's most cherished annual traditions, a giddy nation gathered around its televisions yesterday to see which young man will have his career killed by the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns have reportedly refined their process of murdering careers over decades, turning their near supernatural ability to extinguish potential into what many describe as a well-oiled disappointment machine. I don't actually know who they draft. Were they high in the draft this year? This is an Ethan question. Ethan, come in and tell us.
At 1:30.
At 1:30 when you do your segment.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Mamdani orders visiting teams to redistribute some of their runs to the Mets.
Yeah, after hugging him. That's a B article. Do you know the story behind this?
I saw a bunch of jokes about it, but I didn't see what the story was.
Who's the Mets mascot? It's the baseball player, but the head.
Yeah.
I hate this microphone.
Mr. Metropolitan.
Is the head, and there's Mrs. Met, too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Apparently, Mamdani went into the tunnels, and there's video, as there would be, of him seeing them, and Mr. Met and Miss Met are hugging him. Ms. Met is pumped to see Mamdani.
Okay. In the costume?
Yes. 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 And they lost like 12 straight games after he hugged them.
Oh.
They haven't.
I didn't get that.
This has been going on for weeks. So I don't know what the streak, I don't know if they've won since then, but the Mets are having a day. And Mamdani is
He's
culprit.
the curse of the Bambino, they're saying.
Apparently.
Whatever it is. I did not know that. I didn't know that story. This one goes this way. In order to achieve equity on the baseball diamond, Mamdani stated that city officials would seize 40% of all runs scored by visiting teams and give them to the Mets. Quote, it's time to even the playing field for our less fortunate teams, Mamdani said at a press conference held outside of Citi Field. Quote, baseball has for too long been a system where a small number of teams hoard runs while others, specifically the Mets, are left struggling to meet even their most basic scoring needs. It's not fair that some teams can collect lots of wins while other teams, again, we're talking about the Mets, can't collect any.
The Brewers are in last place in the NL Central, and they have a 13-11 record. Our last place team has a 2-game.
Central's good
For now. The East, on the other hand, the Mets are 9-16, and their last 10, they're 2-8. So they might have thrown some wins in there since then. But it was at least a 10-plus losing streak after Mom Donnie showed up.
Well, this article from probably a couple days ago said they had an 11-game losing streak.
So I remember it being a double-digit thing. So there might be a win or something in there here recently.
Yeah,
but
must have had two.
It has not been good. The Cardinals are 14-10. They'd be in second place in the NL East, and they'd be in third place. Actually, second place because the Dodgers and Padres are tied in the West. They have the Diamondbacks are in second place at 14-11, but we're 14-10, so we'd have a half game on them.
I'm actually more excited to watch the Cardinals this year than I have been in a few years. And I think it's because I had no expectations.
I was just say,
it's like,
that's a managing of expectations in a really good, positive way. Plus, if it brings you joy and it's like a way to chill out, then absolutely.
Totally.
Take it in.
Next one, Newsom orders reservoirs emptied in preparation for fire season.
So sad.
It's got to be the bee.
Watching Spencer Pratt talk about, this was about California?
Yeah.
Watching Spencer Pratt talk about, he's running for mayor of LA. He said on a Joe Rogan podcast that he goes, 14 houses have been rebuilt. And Joe Rogan says 14 houses. He goes, I'll say 16 just so that they can't fact check us on this. He goes, I'll go high and say 16. Joe Rogan says less than 20 houses have been rebuilt. And Spencer said yes. He goes, how many houses burned down? Do you know how many houses burned down?
No, I don't.
7,000.
Oh. I would have guessed in the hundreds.
Do you know also that earlier that year that all of the insurance companies canceled all of the insurance, didn't renew people because I don't know what they knew, but the way it was being talked about on that Joe Rogan podcast, the first thing I heard was that there was some sort of like conspiracy. But I think that it was so obvious that the situation could be so bad if something got out of hand. Of course, it's California. They have wildfires. That people ended up getting non-renewed. So you have people who lived in these houses for 50 years, paid insurance every single year that they were there. That year got non-renewed, lost their house, and they have nothing.
Unbelievable. I know lots of insurance was moving out of California in general, not just that area, because it was so difficult
It's untenable.
insure. Yeah, they couldn't make money. This story goes like this.
If Spencer Pratt ends up being the mayor of L.A.,
I don't know much about it. What's his deal?
Spencer Pratt,
Yeah.
Heidi Montag, all the people from that the OC back in.
Okay.
Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag were a couple on the OC, and they were just entitled brats. And he could be the mayor.
Would he be an improvement?
From Karen Bass?
Karen Bass?
Yes.
Okay.
You would be an improvement.
Thank you.
Oh, dang.
I know. That's saying a lot. It says to
Well,
ensure.
you know very little about it, and I'd still vote for you.
Thank you very much. To ensure that high-risk areas of the state would be rendered sufficiently vulnerable to hot, dry weather and high winds, Newsom had officials remove every last drop of water that could potentially be used in an emergency. Quote, we do this now so that we can do nothing later. Newsom said.
Man.
Last one, really quick. Police arrest 40 people at a pop-up drug event.
Sounds legit.
Yeah, sounds real.
This is legit. An investigation titled Operation No Smoke began in February after a tip about a large-scale marijuana sales in the city of Atlanta. When officers arrived, approximately 70 people tried to run away by jumping onto roofs and over fences. They arrested 64 people and charged 40. This is for marijuana.
Is it possession?
I think it was such big amounts, and it's not sanctioned by the state or anybody. So
It's still a federal crime.
It's a crime still. Yeah.
Man, Atlanta. All right. We're going to speak to Governor Kehoe in the next hour, and we can connect with him. Don't go away.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No pain, don't paint Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Every child deserves a childhood. Make-A-Wish creates life-changing wishes for children with critical illnesses. A wish sparks a ripple of hope that transforms communities far and wide. When we grant wishes together, we create a movement of kindness, strength, and unity. Join us today at wish.org and be part of a journey that truly changes lives.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
A second round of peace talks. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. Talks appear to be in the works as Iran's top diplomat and other officials travel to Pakistan today, and U.S. negotiators prepare to join them. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tells Fox News.
Special Envoy Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be off to Pakistan again tomorrow morning to engage in talks, direct talks intermediated by the Pakistanis, who have been incredible friends and mediators throughout this entire process.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is warning Iran to make a wise decision.
As we said previously, choose wisely at the negotiating table. All they have to do is abandon a nuclear weapon in meaningful and verifiable ways, or instead they can watch their regime's fragile economic state collapse under the unrelenting pressure of American power.
Israel's military revealed today what it says is evidence that Hezbollah is increasingly using medical facilities, especially ambulances, as cover for its militants. And despite an agreement to extend the Lebanon-Israel ceasefire, the IDF and Hezbollah traded attacks today. National Weather Service teams are working to survey the damage at least 6 tornadoes caused in Oklahoma yesterday. Fox Weather's Haley Meyer is in the town of Enid.
Some well-built homes totally leveled and destroyed, and it seems like it's multiple blocks of this neighborhood that have incurred some significant damage.
State officials say the tornadoes damaged 40 homes, temporarily trapping some residents inside. The National Weather Service says 2 of the twisters were satellite tornadoes around one bigger one that hit the town of Bremen. Injuries reported, but no deaths. And the Justice Department drops its investigation into Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, clearing a major roadblock for the confirmation of Kevin Warsh to be his successor. America's listening to Fox News.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-983-2077 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-983-2077. That's 800-983-2077. What do you have to lose? Call 800-983-2077. Again, 800-983-2077.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
More and more clouds take over this evening and overnight, but for evening plans, all is dry and nice temperatures, mainly in the 70s. A couple of showers and spot thunderstorms toward morning. 65 Friday. Scattered showers, some spot storms anytime during the day on Friday. This is not a severe weather outbreak. There will be some thunderstorms around, though. 78 for the high. Friday night, partly cloudy, 54. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get your AC ready for summer while helping shelter pets. Book your AC clean and check in April, and Air Comfort Service will donate a bag of pet food to Open Door Animal Sanctuary. AirComfortService.com/pet food.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Friday. I want to get right to our next guest. Let's welcome to the Annie Frey Show the governor of the state of Missouri, Mike Kehoe, back with us. Governor, thank you for fitting us in. I know you got a busy schedule, so we're grateful to talk to you about something I think Missourians are going to be pretty excited about.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me back on 97.1. We appreciate the opportunity to talk to your listeners.
Well, I want to talk to you about income taxes. Now, you know, over here on the state of Illinois, there's not a tax that my state doesn't love to rip out of my paycheck. Missouri is running in the opposite direction, the common sense direction, and including the people of Missouri in making that decision. Talk to me about your efforts to try to make Missouri an income tax-free state.
First, I want to remind you, I've invited you to move over to Missouri several times, and I
just wanted to know if it was still open.
That door is open, wide open. We love people, and it's a great segue into why I think eliminating the state's income tax is very important. We want to be a state that starts receiving population in. We need to be competitive with other states who have these same policies. It gives us a competitive advantage in economic development, but more importantly, it shows us it's welcoming to others that want to move to Missouri. We need to grow our population, grow the state's economy, and grow opportunities for Missouri families like I had growing up in the St. Louis area and many others across the state have had. That initiative now has moved through both the House and the Senate. And the great news is this is a major policy change, so Missourians should be able to weigh in on it. It will go to the ballot for Missourians to vote on whether they think this is appropriate or not later on this year. So we're grateful that the House and Senate and leadership was able to get that question out to the ballot for Missourians to vote on. We think it's a great policy change, and we're excited that it's moving forward.
Governor, will it be on the November ballot?
We'll look at which ballot it will be best on. As you know, there's multiple issues that will be on the ballots this fall. So we're going to take a holistic look at that. We have until, I think, about the third week in May to decide that. So we will work with the stakeholders and folks that sponsors in both the House and Senate and others, make sure that we have the question on the right spot.
So, Governor, is it a simple majority of the vote of the people who show up? Should it be on a primary ballot or the general in November? Is it a simple majority of people who show up, cast their ballot, and say, I'm ready to phase out the income tax here in the state of Missouri, the majority wins?
Yes, ma'am. The majority wins, and it would be a phase-out plan. It's responsible. So we will not be cutting essential services, whether that's police and fire, first responders, education, et cetera. The state will continue to fill its obligation, but you said it exactly right. It would be a phase-out that will take several years to do, but eventually we'll get to zero income tax. That money, $9 billion annually, stays in Missourians' pockets every year for them to make a decision and the purchasing power of what they think they should be spending those dollars on. And we think Missourians can make a better decision on how to spend their money than any elected official, including myself, every day of the week.
Governor Kehoe speaking with us here, the governor of the state of Missouri. You know, I know that you've mentioned some hot button publicly funded areas. Public education is a big one, and people are going to look at this immediately and say, what's going to happen to all the money going into our schools? As you mentioned, police departments, fire departments. If the money isn't coming out of income tax, where are the dollars going to come from that are going to fund these places?
Well, sure, and that's a great question. We've been very clear that Missouri sales tax code is currently almost 100 years old. It was developed in the 1930s, and so we're putting together a working group. Should this pass at the ballot, that will decide on what Missouri sales tax code looks like going forward. Most things that your listeners have bought in the last week, maybe in the last month, were not even in business in 1930. So making sure that we capture what's happening with a modernized sales sales tax code that doesn't rely on a checkbook economy. I mean, I have 4 kids. I don't think any of them have ever had a check before. So they look at me funny when I say write a check.
Yeah.
Say, what's wrong with you, Dad? So we got to modernize our sales tax code to the e-commerce world that we live in. We believe there's a way to do that without being harmful and having, some people have said, oh my gosh, we're going to have sales tax that's doubling and all that. That's a scare tactic. Missourians will end up with more money in their pocket at every income level we've checked by keeping their income tax, even if the sales tax code widens a little bit. It's a net gain to Missouri families from the lowest income earner to the highest income earner.
Governor Kehoe, I'm curious about other income tax-free states. Of course, people talk about Florida, Texas, but there are other ones as well across. Are they all created equal? Are all the states a little bit different in the way they implement it? And if they're different, are you looking at any of them for inspiration?
We do look at them and look at examples. For instance, we looked at what Kansas did, which was a miserable, failed experience. We learned how not to do this. But we all do look at, I look at specifically Tennessee. If you look at what's happening in Tennessee, whether it's Memphis or Nashville or Knoxville, it's a similar state to us. It's, Florida has an ocean around 3 sides of it, and Texas is the size of Europe. So I think it's easier to look at what Tennessee does, and that's who we compare ourselves to most. Their economy, their population has just been booming, and that is because they're allowing their residents to keep the income tax, not letting the government take it, and then make those decisions with their purchasing powers at the stores. South Dakota, there's several other states who have implemented this, has been very successful. And I tell people all the time, if you get on Google or use AI, look at and ask the question, what states with income tax versus states without income tax, what is their population growth? What is their economic growth? What is happening in those states? And you'll see states without income tax are doing the best at expanding their population and expanding those opportunities for their residents.
Well, I think it's going to be an incredible opportunity for Missouri. Do you know how long it will take, in your mind, how long does the phase last from if it passes this election season to the time it's implemented?
Should Missourians decide this is an appropriate policy to move forward in, the state legislature then would make those decisions. And we think it's somewhere between 4 and 6 years. The main thing is people know it's coming, it's happening. It will be incremental steps over each of the years. It will be done responsibly. And at the end of the day, it's $9 billion. I want to continue to say that we put back into Missourians' pockets. And if you want to talk about a ripple effect to our state's economy, let Missourians get $9 billion more every year in their pocket and let them spend it the way they see fit. We think that makes a huge difference.
Governor Kehoe, do you have, I imagine you have copious research on how popular this measure will be with Missouri. Do you expect it to be close at the polls? How do you feel this is going to go?
Yeah, early indicators are that we've seen that Missourians think this is an appropriate way to look at what our state's economy and our policy looks like. So we're optimistic, but we'll work very hard to make sure Missourians understand what this means to them, what it means to their families, what it means to their businesses. We believe that they'll be receptive. We're hopeful that they will vote for it when it comes to the ballot later on this year, and then we'll get to the next phase of actually rewriting what the sales tax code will look like.
Governor Kehoe, we know you have to get on a plane. I wanted to ask you one quick question about Virginia, the election that they just had, the vote that they just took to redraw their maps. You had there was a redraw here in the state of Missouri as well. I heard a lot of people saying Virginia should do this because Missouri did it and Texas did it. they look at states like yours to say that Virginia, that they're doing the next logical thing. What do you think about the vote that was taken there and the result?
Well, if you want to look at a gerrymandered map, you can look at Virginia. If you don't want to go very far, you can look at Illinois. Those are gerrymandered maps. And again, I would encourage your listeners to look those maps up and what those congressional district lines look like. The Missouri First map that we drew up with the legislature last year really represents a contiguous map that represents Missouri values. And we hope that Missourians understand that our representation in Washington, D.C. could be up to 7-1. And I think our Missouri conservative core Christian values match what you see in Speaker Johnson way more than what they'd match and what you may see, unfortunately, in Speaker Jeffries. So we want to make sure that we do our part and make sure Missouri's values match who we're sending to Washington, D.C., and we're excited to have the Missouri First map in place.
All right. Well, Governor Kehoe, thank you for the time today. We appreciate it. We're going to be following this effort to officially encourage the voters to show up and be heard on this no income tax effort by you. And a lot of those Republicans in Jefferson City, we're thankful for you. Thanks for coming on with us today.
You bet. Thanks for the time, and let me know when you need those moving trucks. We're bringing you over.
Yeah, the U-Hauls. It's hard to find them in Illinois these days. They're always driving away.
That's because they're not friendly over there. The U-Hauls are friendly in Missouri. We're going to come get you.
All right, Governor. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Governor Mike Kehoe, 58th governor of the state of Missouri. You know, we pay Missouri tax. We live in Illinois, but we pay state income tax in Missouri.
Don't remind me.
Why? We're going to pay less. This will benefit us.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
we pay income.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look me in
explain
the
this to
eyes,
me.
Ryan.
Explain how this works now.
You pay Illinois state income tax. You pay federal income tax. You pay the city of St. Louis income tax. You pay Missouri state income tax.
I don't think I realized that. I just got way more interested in what's happening.
Hello?
I did not. I really did not. I knew the city. I did, for whatever reason, I didn't think about the state tax.
Ryan, I'm going to make your day. Open up our Odyssey HR website. Go look at your W-2 from last year and go look at how much income tax you paid to the state of Missouri.
That's so boring. I hate looking at that.
You can give it to me. I'll take
It's not
it.
boring if this gets passed.
All right.
I'm just going to believe you and not look at that.
He's really serious. It's really the Ryan Wiggins way. He's like, I'll take your word for it.
It's true.
I am not your tax advisor.
Well, just play one on the radio then.
I won't even do that. The YouTube poll for today, what's your best explanation for the dead and missing scientists? Do you think it's foreign interference? Do you think it's the U.S. industrial complex? Was it Jersey? It was Jersey, right? Where those things were flying over just across the river from New York City. I think it was leading into the election, maybe?
The drones?
It ended up being United States contractors.
Mm-hmm.
They knew, and the Department of Defense knew, which is now the Department of War. You know, when the Trump administration came in, they're like, we're going to call the Department of Defense Department of War. Should have been our first sign. Let's take a quick break here. Go vote in the YouTube poll, youtube.com/@AnnieFrey. How many of you think it's aliens? I'm going to go peek at the results and see how you guys are doing on your responses here. Let's give our answers to what we think it is when we come back. And your texts, we'll throw those in there too as well. 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. Back in a minute. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. If you have a cracked concrete patio, walkway, if it's at work and you know that it's where your customers are coming in and it's uneven, here's what you're going to do. You're going to fix it once and for all. Tired of stubbing your toe, but worse, tripping or causing somebody who you love or is patronizing your business to trip. You want to get that fixed once and for all. Polyjacking is the system you're going to use, and Home Shield Foundation Repair is the company you're going to use to make this work once and for all. 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. Reach out to Home Shield Foundation Repair. Talk to Matt Hayes. He's the owner. And have him come out and look at the problem that you're trying to deal with. They can fix this in a day. And it's affordable, and it's going to last. If you have a basement waterproofing area that needs to be addressed, you can have them out to look at that as well. 314-271-9900. That's 314 844-271-9900. Online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Americans demanded border security, and House Republicans delivered. According to the Department of Homeland Security, for 10 consecutive months, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has reported 0 illegal aliens released at the border. I'm proud to have worked with the Trump administration to secure our southern border and uphold our immigration laws, and will keep fighting to advance strong policies that protect Missourians and keep America safe.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. That YouTube poll, we're asking you about the best explanation for the dead and missing scientists here. There's a lot of talk about this that's starting to really kind of surface in Congress, which, one of the questions that I asked Congressman Burleson earlier this week was, where did you get tipped off to this? And part of it was that the media started to cover it and ask the questions, but another part of it was that there was a general that was involved in the disappearance. And when something like that happens, you kind of go, wait, what? So that's problematic. Hold on a second. What is shared here? Oh. Stand by. Got to do some work here. Here's James Comer, House Oversight Committee Chairman, talking about it.
We're very concerned about this. This is a national security concern. This would suggest that something sinister may be happening. So we want to see what we can do, and hopefully with our bully pulpit, we can maybe bring attention to this and have anyone that knows of any information out there, have them contact Congress so we can help determine what's going on here and prevent this from happening in the future.
So we're asking you what you think is behind all of this. Of course, there might not be anything behind all of this. It might just be a set of circumstances that maybe looks a little fishy, and the longer we don't have information on it, it might kind of lend to the conspiratorial conversations that are taking place. But when we're asking you what's the best explanation of the dead and missing scientists, and maybe you've come up with one that I haven't kind of encompassed in these 4 options. Do you think it's foreign interference? Do you think it's the U.S. industrial complex? Do you think it's aliens? Or do you think there's no conspiracy here? If I had to vote for one of these individual things, I would say probably the U.S. industrial complex. But I think it's probably the U.S. industrial complex and foreign interference at the same time. And I think that there's probably kind of an arms race of sorts for this type of technology, where somebody had this technology, the other folks found out about it, and now it's being utilized I likely listen. If it's foreign interference that's doing it, I kind of want the U.S. industrial complex to be involved in it as well, to be counteracting, so that our Department of War has the ability to combat it. I don't know why the U.S. industrial complex would be running these type of operations around our nuclear facilities unless they wanted to be able to do that in Iran and to be able to do it indiscriminately, or to do it in Russia, or to do it in China, or to do it in North Korea, or anywhere else that they might feel like they need to send in this type of technology, which could make a lot of sense. And they might be surveilling our own nuclear sites as a way to hone in their skills so that the United States could do that in other places. I don't know how else you would field test something like that. So I think that's a very plausible, logical explanation. But I do not think it's aliens. And I also, part of what I've read, and I told you guys yesterday that in sharing that Burleson interview on X, I have fallen into the UAP community on Twitter, and it's an interesting adventure to read through all of that. There are a lot of people who suggest that a lot of what is being discussed, and I'm not scientific enough to understand this, and I'm also not interested in it. So I know that I'm not going to, I don't hear this and want to learn more so I can understand it. Not interested. But of a lot of the propulsion and energy source research that would have been going on, if that would displace the current system that is funded, that where you have an entire structure of businesses and companies and projects that are responsible for these very powerful rocket ships that we operate, or war assets that we operate. If there's something new that brings all of that to a place where it's obsolete, there'd be a lot of money on the table that would no longer be on the table, that would make some people mad.
That actually surmises my opinion on this. I don't know the connection between all of what each scientist is doing well enough.
Well, you should listen to the interview that I did with Eric Burleson, because he lists them by name and topic.
I know one of them was anti-gravity that one researcher was doing. And so I would think that there would be some sort of industry that would be poised to be hurt by some sort of technological breakthrough in that area that would say, we have a lot of money on the line, let's get rid of this at the source. So in that sense, I would answer U.S. industrial complex, just because it's the closest to industry. Whether that's tied up in the government or not, I don't know.
When I look at it, I think that this is like a witness protection program. I think that these scientists are very important to the U.S. government, the U.S. industrial complex, if you will. And the U.S. government has relocated them, disappeared them, put them in witness relocation program, change their identities and that sort of thing, so they can continue to work on the technology. But the foreign influencers, the foreign interference, they have to then restart looking for them all over again. Because in the Eric Burleson interview, he talked about an Operation Foxhound.
Brian, if you'd listen to it, you'd know this.
I think I might just go listen to it in the break.
Where China was sending operatives.
Do it during Ethan Sports and Local.
I will.
Just kidding.
China sending operatives into the U.S. to find scientists that were from China, to try to take them back, and to find U.S. scientists and extract them to China, or sway them or switch them over. So if I'm the United States, I'm constantly moving my chess pieces around the board. I don't want China or any.
What are your chess pieces that you're talking about?
The scientists. I think that they're in witness relocation kind of programs where they just take them out.
The disappeared ones.
They disappear them, yeah, and move them to other places.
So you think the government's looking out for them?
Yes, I think it's the government, but I think it's in a positive way, not in a negative way.
What do you think about that?
I think that I'm just going to agree with everything that Burleson said in that interview, because I think that there's just a lot of really good information in there, and I think that is possible.
What do you think? What's your answer to this question?
Well, I said I think it's the U.S. industrial complex, just because that's the closest. I'm kind of with you, though. It could be foreign interference, but it could be this like multinational corporate interest that's doing this too. So I'm going to go with one of the first two and lean toward U.S. industrial complex.
And your answer is?
Mine is it's the U.S. industrial complex, but in a positive way. They're hiding these scientists from foreign interference. So it's U.S. It's both, but it's the U.S. that's making them disappear.
What do you guys think that the UAPs are?
I still believe it's probably some sort of U.S. technology that one singular entity in our government knows about and the others don't, which I don't like that, but that's the most plausible.
Historically, Russia would lie about their military capabilities, but they would always lie to make it sound better. The United States lies about their military capabilities of their technology, but they lie to make it sound worse. And so keeping that in mind, I think it's the United States military that's got these things. And the more confusion and just weirdness that they can throw around it, the better they can hide it. So I think it's the United States military.
Based on your theory, Brad, of this being a positive thing. Okay, yeah. So the military or whoever, the U.S. industrial complex, has kidnapped these people, or maybe they were even willing to go into witness protection.
Yeah.
Aren't some of them confirmed dead, though? Or are they all missing?
Maybe.
No, both.
Yeah, it's
so
both,
some are missing, I know. But
some are dead, and maybe the dead ones are the ones that made them go, okay, we need to start moving these people.
Oh, okay. Or the ones that didn't want to be moved.
Or the ones that are dead are actually not actually dead, and they just faked their death and moved them. That's a possibility as well.
Okay.
How about that Missouri tax return?
Well, I guess I'm excited about it now. I mean,
you're really selling it.
Yeah,
I was always
Ryan. People are going to vote on that.
I was always excited. I was excited about it. And I would say this. In theory, I'm happy that they're doing this, even though it doesn't directly affect me. If you're telling me it does directly affect me, I'm actually pretty excited about it. Although I want them to phase it in faster. Give me that money now.
Just turn it off.
Yeah, exactly. And if the sales taxes are going up, I wonder, because I don't buy a lot in Missouri. I don't come to Missouri to buy a lot. Mm-hmm. When there was the old days when you go window shopping in downtown St. Louis or whatever, maybe that would, but I guess that's probably not going to affect me, other than if I'm buying food here for lunch. Okay. But I do buy a lot of food here, so it could be a net zero from what I make back.
We want to know what you think. What's the story with these missing and dead scientists? You think it's foreign interference, U.S. industrial complex, aliens, or no conspiracy needed? We'll take a quick break. Back in a minute. So this Tuesday, I will be, hopefully with you, at the Doubletree in Chesterfield for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. The event begins officially at 6:30. I get there from 6 to 6:30 and try to meet as many folks as I can. Mark Reardon, Mark Cox as well. And I'd love to see you there. It's time to sign up and reserve your spot, though. Bring a friend, bring a couple friends. Just call and let them know that you'd like to be there. 314-993-9494. 314-993-9494. You reach out to the Retirement Advisory Group, and they are going to reserve you that spot for the Protecting Your Retirement educational event coming up Tuesday. It starts at 6:30. Get there early. If you want to say hi, I'd love to say hi to you at the Doubletree in Chesterfield. If you're 59 and a half or older, this is the time for you to come learn what you can learn for free. And a reminder, they only spend like 45 minutes of your time. It's not going to be the whole evening. Doesn't cost you anything. And they have snacks. And the snacks are good. Reach out to them at 314-993-9494, online at retirementkey.com.
It's Mark Cox. If you enjoy your backyard like I do, you need to reach out to my friends at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. They can make it better and make it better in time for this summer. If you reach out to them right now, you mention my name when you call, they're going to give you 20% off the bottom line of your next outdoor project with Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Listen, when you've been around since 1968 and you've been under the same ownership, you take a lot of pride in what you do, and it's a sign you have the very best when their installation crews show up at your house. Here's the thing about it. They do free in-home estimates, no obligation. They'll come out and design a project for you too, if that's what you're looking for. And of course, they carry the beautiful Vecadeck vinyl decking for the decks that are no maintenance. How about that? You don't have to worry about it. The colors are beautiful, plus custom sunrooms and screen rooms and pergolas. Reach out today to my friends at Chesterfield Fence. It's chesterfieldfence.com.
All right, the YouTube live chat poll is, what's your best explanation for the dead and missing scientists? We were just giving our opinions on this topic. The answers you could give are foreign interference, U.S. industrial complex, aliens, or no conspiracy, no explanation needed. I'm going to pull up this comment right here on our stream from Fritz. He says, I told my wife I saw an alien on the way to work this morning. She said, how do you know it's on its way to work? Not a direct answer. I don't know if he's saying specifically that he thinks it is aliens, but maybe. And so there's more conspiracy even on the levels of the comments right now. If you want to leave a comment, you can in our live stream or on our text line 314-241-9797. It is 1:33. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
Where common sense rules the mic. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
Durfin Doniford's Dumpy Doos.
Yeah.
With Shannon McNard.
Yep. I'm sorry.
It wasn't done.
I'm sorry.
It was disrespectful.
Sorry. Sponsored by All Financial. It's a Friday edition of Sports and Local. You good, Ryan?
I'm
You
good.
okay?
Yeah, I like that one.
All right.
There's a
Sounds
couple that at least recently that were my favorites. That's one of them.
Yeah, it's been a
Donovan's
best of week for the intros. Not for the segment itself, but for the intros.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think we all agree.
I got a laugh out of
Yeah.
Annie. It's like that. That's a win. Gasoline prices in the St. Louis area have dropped a little bit. The national average right now at $4.05 a gallon, dropped from $4.17 over the past week. In Missouri, the average price has moved from $3.68 to $3.64. Now, that is for the state in its entirety. The most expensive area of the state to get gas in is St. Louis, where the average still dropped from $3.94 to $3.83 a gallon. Are you guys intentional to get gas on the Missouri side?
Yes.
As long as it fits the time schedule.
No?
I can
Not
do
you,
it,
Brad?
I do it in the morning for sure. I can't get it done after the show.
I'm not going to these gas stations.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
why?
I
not
wouldn't.
doing it.
I
They
Last
would
rob you in Illinois just like they rob you in Missouri.
Yeah, which one are you going to lose more money at?
Oh, there's one that I'm less likely to get shot.
I get shot downtown.
The last time I was...
Oh, no.
The last time
Hey, I'm the one who have had a gun pointed at me in this city. I've been carjacked in the middle of the day. You can get gas downtown.
But that seems like evidence for what Brad's saying.
Hey,
the last
speaking
time
as
I was
the one-
at a downtown gas station, there was police tape with a chalk line on it, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh, you're kidding.
Do they
no!"
still
and
do that?
I'm not. And apparently, what had
didn't know
happened?
they did that either.
Used to do
What
that
had
in the
happened with
driveways,
that
kids.
with that situation was that person had actually tried to carjack somebody, and the carjacker was the person he was trying to carjack was armed and shot him.
No kidding.
So
Wow.
I'm like, I'm good. Like, I don't want to deal with any of that.
Crazy times.
It's crazy to me that the further you get into Missouri, the cheaper the gas is.
I like that, though.
In Missouri.
Why?
Does that
That's
surprise
just
you?
Jared. Ryan, when
Where's
you...
she go from here?
Yeah, exactly. It's that way because of Illinois being so expensive. It's because of Illinois drivers.
Do we have any city taxes here on gas, too? Like, is that a
I
thing?
don't know. There might be TIF
There probably
districts or consumption taxes probably in the state. Don't say it too loud. If there isn't, it'll happen.
Yeah,
but
right.
that's
Oh,
only
shoot.
because of the Illinois drivers that are willing to pay that because it's
Yeah.
still a good deal.
Yeah, it's very true. And I will pay it because it is still a deal.
Yeah.
Last night was night number 1 of the NFL draft. The first round was completed last night, and it was a celebratory night for Notre Dame fans. 2 first-round picks taken, including St. Louis's own Jeremiah Love, who was selected 3rd overall by the Arizona Cardinals. I believe that the number was just the 3rd running back taken in the top 5 in the last 15 years. So very rare company for Jeremiah Love. He's going to be playing out in Phoenix in the desert. Of course, for those that don't know, Love attended Christian Brothers College here in St. Louis and was also a two-time state champion, Gatorade Player of the Year, Missouri Max Preps Player of the Year as well. So his success carried on to Notre Dame, and now it's going to carry on to the NFL. People are excited about that pick for the Cardinals. And then their other running back, Jadarian Price, was also taken as the last pick of the first round. So Notre Dame with a good
And
first
Notre
round.
Dame looks like they're going to be better next year than they were last year.
They 100% will. In fact, right now, they might be the preseason number one. They are going to be very good next year. So the Irish are going nowhere. That is for certain. Ted Drewes is celebrating its 97th anniversary all day this upcoming Saturday. The iconic frozen custard shop on historic Route 66 in South St. Louis will be offering a single scoop cone for 97 cents or a baseball cap sundae for $1.97. Ted Drewes is open daily from 11 a.m. to 10:30 p.m.
I have only been to Ted Drewes one time in my life.
I think I've only been twice.
And it was just because we were near it, and I said, I've never actually been. It's an iconic place. We have to go right now. And it was good.
Now, the Cardinals have a deal with Ted Drewes, and one of my favorite parts about working as the booth assistant is that every Wednesday they would bring 2 coolers of the little to-go cups of Ted Drewes up, and well, let's just say that I'm a few pounds heavier than I was in 2023.
A few pounds happier.
Yeah, I would say that as well. But yeah, love me some Ted Drewes. Blues forward Jordan Kyrou had a minor knee procedure earlier this week. The team announced on Thursday afternoon. This is not expected to be a big deal. Kyrou will be ready for training camp, according to the team. He missed a handful of games this past year with some knee injuries, but overall disappointing season for Jordan Kyrou, who scored only 18 goals this year. So, whatever injuries have to do, I know most hockey players, especially at this time of the year, are playing banged up. Playoff time currently going on, but hopefully we get a better version of Jordan Kyrou in the 2026-27 season if he is to still be a St. Louis Blue.
One sentence summary. Are they going to be really active, the Blues, in the offseason? Are they going to be trying hard to make trades and signs, or what's going to happen?
If the 2 biggest question marks for the Blues this offseason is not if they're going to make that splash move bringing a big name in necessarily, it's more so, are they going to move on from Jordan Binnington and or Jordan Kyrou? Binnington is not going to be the starting goalie for this team anymore. It is Joel Hofer's time. Binnington's coming off of a rough year. If Binnington wants to play somewhere where he can still be a 1A goalie on a contending team, I think the Blues will probably, out of respect for him, try and make that happen. The problem is I don't know if there's going to be any playoff contending teams that want him as their number 1 guy after the inconsistency that he has shown the last couple of seasons. So that's the first one. And then the other one, Jordan Kyrou's coming off of a career low year. Very team-friendly deal, but he just hasn't meshed very well with Jim Montgomery's system these last couple of seasons. So it's more so a matter of, are they able to find trades that make sense for those 2 guys, but I don't think we're going to see them make a big splash move. They do have 3 first-round picks, though. That is something to keep in mind. How about this story? A bat recently discovered in a Kirkwood home has tested positive for rabies. Ryan, you didn't happen to be in that area any recently.
No, but if I saw a bat, I would bite it.
Okay, Ozzy. The St. Louis County Department of Public Health reports the bat was collected from the home on April 16th. It's also the first bat to test positive for rabies in St. Louis County in 2026. The department did not report any bat bites at the home or the location of the rabid bat. So that, just to specify, that is saying that they didn't note any bat biting people. They didn't say anything about people biting bat. Which is what you are saying.
Which is what I'm saying. I give bats rabies.
Okay, got it. Good to know. Appreciate the clarification. You want another one, Annie, or are you done so?
If I said what he just said, he would clip that and turn it into a song.
Yeah. Because you don't say stuff like that very much. For me, I just can't do that stuff every day.
That weird stuff all the time.
I really want to repeat what you said, but then I know what will happen with that.
What
so
did
I
I
will
say?
Not. I'm not dumb. Not as dumb as you need me to be. Ethan?
Wait, say that again.
That again.
One more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take as many as you want.
Take a couple more. Hey, do 3, 4.
Eckert's Farm has opened its pick your own strawberry season early. It opened yesterday thanks to the warm weather and strong crop. Strawberries cost $4.49 per pound, and field access passes start at just $3 on weekdays and $5 on weekends. When booked in advance, hours are 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. 10 to 5 on Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday.
You know, that's the only reason I want to be a farmer.
What?
Be able to stand out in a field or maybe on a dusty old porch and take a deep breath and go, hey, it's going to be a good crop this year.
Is that how it works?
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
I like that too. That's not on my list, but I do like that.
You would be willing to add it to your list potentially.
I'd be willing.
Okay. Cardinals and Mariners coming up this weekend, 3-game series. Brief homestand for the Cardinals. They'll head out to Pittsburgh for a 4-game series following. I mentioned this yesterday, but Brendan Donovan just got added to the injured list. He got traded to Seattle this offseason, so he will not be making a homecoming to St. Louis. And the Cardinals, 4 games above 500. As you mentioned earlier, Annie, all 5 teams in the National League Central are above 500. It's by far the only division in baseball right now to have accomplished that.
Who knew?
And we'll see where things go. It certainly has been an interesting start to the Major League season. But hopefully the Cardinals can take 2 out of 3 at least against the Mariners in this interleague series matchup.
All right. Good Ethan Sports and Local. Dumpy Doos.
Durfin Doniford's Dumpy Doos with Shannon McNard's.
What? You should not know that whole thing. You just shouldn't.
He came up with it. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back in just a minute. Don't go away. Stewart's American Mortgage in the Bagel Loan. Easy to get in contact with Stewie. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. He's waiting for your phone call because the Bagel Loan is just a really smart move. If you have a home purchase in your future, if you're shopping around, you got your realtor, okay, you've got your team. They probably have a lender, and they're probably really great people. And they might do a great job for you. But I just want to encourage you to get that second opinion. Because when you use a Bagel Loan with Stewie, you pay nothing in closing costs. It's the best deal that's out there. And the Bagel Loan is only available with Stewart's American Mortgage. So give them a call. Get a second opinion. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. When you go through the process of getting a new mortgage or even a mortgage refinance, a cash-out refinance on your home to tap in some of that equity, with the Bagel Loan, at the end of that process, you pay nothing in closing costs. It's a really smart move. I've done it twice myself. 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan. NMLS number 226715.
97.1 FM Talk is proud to support the Guns N' Hoses First Responders Soccer Cup, May 30th at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park. Law enforcement battles firefighters and EMTs on the field, all for a great cause. 971talk.com/events.
Summer is on the way, or should I say the heat in St. Louis, it's on its way. Be here before we even know it. If you haven't had your air conditioners checked and set up and ready to go for this cooling season, or if you were told you might need a new one, or you just think this is the time of the year, this year is the time to just go ahead and replace it. Prices are down, 0% financing is available. It's still the best time to call me. Don't put it off. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It is 314-293-2600. Again, that's 314-293-2600 in Missouri and Illinois, or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
So, that one thing that we keep tethering ourselves to with this administration, I think specifically on this show, we're super pumped about the fraud investigation. We started out as Doge, of course, but just really digging deep into where's the money going and how much of our tax dollars, what percentage of our tax dollars are just being lost to the wind because the government is so big that it can't find its front end from its back end any longer. There's a report out from Preston Mazzell at Fox News, and I love seeing this type of stuff. The U.S. Small Business Association referred 562,000 suspected fraudulent loans, totaling over $22.2 billion to the U.S. Department of Treasury for collections. The SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler told Fox News Digital, quote, "From day one, the Trump SBA has worked tirelessly to crack down on billions in pandemic-era fraud that the Biden administration forgave or ignored. After extensive review and with the strong support of the White House Anti-Fraud Task Force, we are taking our most decisive action yet to end a Biden-era scheme that protected over 560,000 borrowers tied to more than $22 billion in suspected pandemic-era fraud." Fox News goes on to report the loan, largely stemming from the Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP, and the COVID Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, were flagged for suspected fraud during President Joe Biden's administration, but never sent to Treasury for collections, according to the SBA. Every time I hear these stories and I understand, okay, this stuff is still happening full throttle in what seems to be the background, it's not the background for J.D. Vance, for Kelly Loeffler, for the Small Business Administration. It's just good to see that we're digging these things out. And I'm not going to look at $22 billion and say, but what about the rest of it? Because we have to be willing to get $22 billion here and $22 billion there. Every time we hear of a new place where the federal government is going in and ripping out and exposing that fraud is a happy day for me.
Well, if that $22 million was just the Small Business Association from PPP loans, that's huge. Because that's not even scratching the surface of all of it. But I just can't believe when I hear reports like that. I shouldn't say I can't believe. I don't want to believe that there would be an administration in this country under Joe Biden, a Democrat administration, that would just decide, there probably is a lot of small business loan fraud. We're going to do nothing about it. Why are you there? What is the purpose of you existing if you're deciding I'm going to not stop any theft from the American people at all? It's just going to be a policy across the board.
I hope that they create some sort of, I know that there's the debt clock or whatever that you can look at, but there needs to be super easily consumable advertisement of what they're doing to find our taxpayer dollars. And also, have you seen how much money the Republicans have on hand? They got a ton of money on hand. They got to start selling some of this stuff. Mm-hmm. They have to start marketing it with real people and in real stories of how the policies, like, the Big Beautiful Bill's about a year old, getting there. They have to start telling the stories from people, not from the talking influencer heads that come out of D.C. all the time that everybody's already made up their mind about what those individuals are going to believe or do or say because they already know how they feel about if you see Nancy Mace or if you see, just like if we see Adam Schiff, I'm not listening to what he has to say to formulate an opinion on him. I don't want to hear anything that man has to say. I really think that they need to start considering messaging now, and especially in areas where, Trump accounts is something that they have promoted, but those are going to get funded, that $1,000 on July 4th. For the babies that are qualifying for it. I've got Trump accounts open for all of my kids. I think that they will qualify for the Dell money that has been talked about. That's like $250 a kid. I'm not 100% sure that my son is, but everybody else will. And if he doesn't qualify for it, I'll put $250 in it for him. But there are very good things that are happening, and I think that the administration needs to go outside of traditional media hits and explanations and, primetime news shows on your favorite. Don't stop doing that stuff. But I think it's time to start spending some of that money to explain to people that what we're doing here is actually about you. It's about middle-class America. It's about returning the American taxpayer dollar to the people and not siphoning off every single drop that they can from the American taxpayer to just send into the bloat that is government that will always be too big to ever find out. So if I hear $22 billion, to me, that's still an enormous amount of money. And I want them to hunt down every million, every penny that they can find, expose it, and also expose the people who let it happen.
$22 billion is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money because we're talking about individuals and small businesses that stole. So that's a lot of fraud that you'd have to go through with a fine-tooth comb to find. You know, and speaking to the bigger issue about messaging to the American people, you know, economically, the jobs numbers get bad reports because they never factor in the fact that DOGE is, whatever you call it now, working alongside it to end worthless government contracts and jobs.
But the jobs reports aren't bad.
That's what I'm saying.
But they're not getting bad reports. The job reports are good, even considering the fact that there have been a ton of public sector jobs that have been lost. You can't even look at the jobs reports and say that they're bad. To what you're saying, you don't see how truly good they are because there are intentionally public sector, taxpayer-funded jobs that have been eliminated and private sector jobs have been added.
You're adding a lot of private sector jobs all the time. Part of that's probably Trump's messaging. I think part of that is tariffs. You know, they're bringing jobs back to America. And none of that really gets a lot of attention because it's big. It's big stuff that will affect everybody in the country, but it doesn't reduce the price of milk and gas right away. And that's the stuff that people feel.
Just like you could be in conflict in Iran and people are... it's not unreasonable to be concerned about the price of gas, but it can't be the only thing you care about. You have to understand it. And, you know, if you understand what's going on and you understand the conflict and you're completely against it and you're ticked about the gas, I get it. That's understandable. But it's, you know, all of these things wrap up together. And I just really feel like the administration could do themselves a favor and start getting themselves in front of probably advertisements, commercials. Gosh, I watch YouTube TV at home, and I am inundated with this flowery J.B. Pritzker ad. I hate it. It makes me mad. It's the same one every time, and it's every commercial break. J.B. Pritzker on my screen because he knows my zip code and knows I'm a voter, and I'm like, well, you can waste all of your impressions on my home screen. It ain't going to do any good.
I'm kind of coming around.
Are you?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, we'll talk about that when we come back. That sounds like a good idea. The YouTube poll for today, what's your best explanation for the dead and missing scientists? Foreign interference, the U.S. industrial complex, aliens, or no conspiracy, no explanation needed. How many people do you think are going to say aliens in our poll today?
I don't think many people will say aliens. Well, okay. Right when I say that, here's a comment that just came in. I think the scientists were alien plants sent here to sabotage our space weapons program.
So the scientists were aliens.
The scientists themselves were aliens.
I like that thought. That's a good twist.
Yeah.
Hadn't considered that.
I don't think... I'm not seeing a lot of alien ones. That's the main one.
When you text us and tell us this, will you tell us if you are or are not an alien? Just for context.
This one right below it says, I think that they are doing witness protection, kind of like Brad said, and it leaves some of the dead ones that they have been faked, leads to some of the dead ones being faked. Look at the last guy. His car was noted to be in an airport for several hours, then drove into a guardrail and burned up. If that's not perfect faking a death, I don't know what is. That's what the comments say.
A lot of theories out there. Keep sharing them with us at 314-241-9797 on the text line. We'd love to have them. Got some good ones out there. Also, go vote, youtube.com/@AnnieFrey. We'll be right back.
I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
License number GL250000615.
We've seen all kinds of clogs, so remember the rule. Only flush 3 things. Number 1, number 2, and toilet paper.
What about my dinosaurs?
No?
My monster truck?
Nope.
What about...
If it's not the big 3, don't flush it.
But if someone does flush a dinosaur...
Call Grasser. We clear the clog and get things moving again.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholt of Kaufman Townsley. Injured at work? Not choosing the best lawyer will cost you. But here's the good news. Since you don't pay unless we win, you can afford the very best. Kaufman Townsley. Call 314-777-7777.
We all know spring weather means spring storms. Mark Cox here for Hanson's Tree Service. Now's the time to remove any dead or hazardous trees over your home before the spring storms bring them down. It's a great time to have an arborist come out and put together a plant health care program for your trees and shrubs. You can also order mulch and compost directly from the website and have it delivered to your driveway. Just go to hansonstree.com. Again, that's hansonstree.com.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Heading to Pakistan, I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. Iran and the U.S. are sending delegations to Islamabad for possible peace talks as the two countries are locked in a stalemate over the Strait of Hormuz. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tells Fox News.
The Iranians reached out, as the president called on them to do, and asked for this in-person conversation. So the president is dispatching Stephen Jared to go hear what they have to say. And we're hopeful that it will be a productive conversation and hopefully move the ball forward towards a deal.
However, Iran's news agency says there are no negotiations with the Americans on the agenda at the moment, instead calling it a tour for Iran's foreign minister. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp tours the wildfire devastation in the southeast part of the state, and today tells reporters.
The two fires that we're fighting, among many others in Georgia, but the Pineland fire and the Highway 82 fire rank number 1 and 2 in the country. So we got the two most dangerous, biggest, problematic fires anywhere in the United States.
Those and other fires are burning out of control and spreading across Georgia and Florida. And this just in, we have just learned that a volunteer firefighter in Florida has died after suffering a medical emergency while battling a wildfire. An appeals court rules that President Trump's executive order banning asylum access at the southern border is illegal.
Several immigrant rights advocacy groups sued, arguing the move endangers thousands fleeing violence and persecution in their home countries. A 3-judge panel from the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit ruling immigration laws give people the right to apply for asylum, and the president does not have the authority to prevent that. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
America's listening to Fox News.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-983-2077 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-983-2077. That's 800-983-2077. What do you have to lose? Call 800-983-2077. Again, 800-983-2077.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
More and more clouds take over this evening and overnight, but for evening plans, all is dry and nice temperatures, mainly in the 70s. A couple of showers and spot thunderstorms toward morning. 65 Friday. Scattered showers, some spot storms anytime during the day on Friday. This is not a severe weather outbreak. There will be some thunderstorms around, though. 78 for the high. Friday night, partly cloudy, 54. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan. And be ready for the first heat wave. AirComfortService.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
They got someone here knows what they're talking about.
Left up, left right, gotta love this American ride.
Like, you need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're grateful for you to spend a little of your afternoon with us. We love spending it with you, so we appreciate you being here. A reminder, you can stream us on the Odyssey app anywhere you go, AUDACY. Download that app and follow 97.1 FM Talk and the Annie Frey Show. There are talks about the delegation that is going to go to Pakistan once again, or as the lady at the top of the hour said, Pakistan.
Pakistan.
I said she's saying Pakistan like it has two H's in it. And then I don't know where you were putting
I was
H's.
like, Pakistan?
No, I said Pakistan. I thought that maybe by the end of the Iran conflict, we'd figure out how to say Iran.
You don't think we have?
Say it. See?
Iran.
Iran. That's an alien in Star Wars.
Yeah, it is.
They look really scary. They're a little crazy, but easy to dissemble.
Protruding foreheads.
No, when President Trump had that nighttime address, do you remember the nighttime address? You remember what the point of the nighttime address was? Exactly. That's my point. I came back the next day and said I didn't think it needed to be a primetime address.
I think it was trying to set out a timeline, which we haven't stuck to.
He hasn't not stuck to a timeline.
Well, he was saying 4 to 6 weeks originally. We're beyond that now.
That's not what he said yesterday. He said yesterday that he's accomplished in 4 to 6 weeks what he said he was going to accomplish.
Oh, well, okay, but we're still there. The gas prices haven't been affected yet. So
it's the third time today that we've been talking about this, and you've put the period on the sentence with gas prices. Is that when it's over for you?
Yeah, that's when Iran has stopped fighting us, because that's how they're fighting us.
How?
Through holding oil tankers hostage.
Go ahead.
I
I
think we've moved into a new phase of this. I think it's kind of more of a stalemate. I don't think that the administration's interested in dropping more bombs, because what he said earlier was that they have achieved those goals. I mean, yeah, I
do think they're interested in dropping more bombs.
But there's just not much left to drop bombs on, and they're more interested in forcing Iran into an agreement, and they think that the blockade is more effective in that way. In doing that. So it's not just Iran that's stopping the movement of cargo in and out of Hormuz. It's the United States. We've got a blockade there. They won't let any ship out of an Iranian port, no matter what.
They won't let any what?
Any ship
out
of an Iranian port that is, no matter the country flag that it flies, if it comes out of an Iranian port, they're saying you can't come out.
Are you saying they're not taking any ship?
Right. Well, they've taken 2. 2.
2 what?
2 big ships, tankers.
So you're putting a number 2 on it.
Yeah.
Annie?
I can't. What am I
Friday.
supposed to say?
It's Friday.
What am I supposed to say?
We're discussing real news.
No, we were.
We are.
And then I hand it over to you. Immature middle schoolers.
Goobers.
Poop. Let's just say it. Discuss amongst yourselves.
We took it into the fecal territory.
Now, in my defense, I said ship, and you said what?
See?
Mine was a small
Yeah, it was just
joke for people who are paying attention to. You guys were like, hey, we can talk about poop.
Just a little nudge in that direction's all it took.
That's all it takes, Annie.
Yeah, obviously. That's my point.
We're boys.
I know. I would like you to act like men.
Same.
Nope. Ask the ladies.
We've had
it
this
is not the
discussion
same.
recently.
What?
Our men's sense of humor peaks at age 14.
Does it matter to you at all that there is a lady present?
No. Well, it depends on who.
Oh, okay.
We're pretty comfortable with you now.
All right. So give me an example of a lady that would matter.
The new boss.
Probably our new boss.
They can hear us now. They would know.
I know. I'm telling her she matters.
Yeah.
I want to be on record for saying that. Maybe the first lady.
But if she finds these jokes funny?
Maybe the former second lady, Karen Pence. If she were here.
Mother.
When was the last time anybody said Karen Pence's name in media? Like,
let me look it up with AI.
Google. When was the last time there was a report on Karen Pence? How long do you have to know somebody in order to not treat them anymore like the lady that they are? Stop Googling Karen Pence.
It's interesting.
It's not. It's not for the people who were supposed to be entertaining.
December 2025.
Okay. How long until you're like, okay, I can talk about poop around this nice lady?
I think definitely not the first time you meet them.
Talk about it or joke about it, because those are different things.
Not really.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're going to talk about your diarrhea in real terms with a brand new acquaintance.
If it's a medical condition, I will discuss medical issues with my wife.
But that's my point is it's the first time meeting somebody.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to be like,
no.
Let me tell you a little bit about diarrhea.
I wouldn't do that the first time I met my wife
impressed
either.
that there is nuance to the answer to this question.
Oh, there definitely
Everything
is.
Name it. Well, explain it to me.
Way more complicated than we get credit for.
See, here's the thing.
It's not true at all.
If you're
not
discussing
true at all.
poop jokes with a girl the first time you meet her,
you
just marry her.
You don't discuss poop jokes.
Yeah, you do.
You make
over
poop.
wine.
No,
what are your
you
thoughts
don't discuss poop jokes. You make poop jokes, and you take the temperature of the room.
Yeah, make poop jokes, not war. And then you marry her. That's my point. If she's willing to do, and you know what? You can tell a phony too. You can tell somebody who's like, hey, let's talk about poop jokes because I'm one of the guys. And it's like, that's a fake girl.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to feel comfortable? You said you used to listen to the show, and you famously were like, I would make that show better. And
You're paraphrasing, but...
And you said, by way of the Dave Glover show, I will conquer the Annie Frey Show. First, what I'll do is I'll get on the DGS.
Wait until Mark Close retires.
And I'll make all of them mad.
See what I can do.
And then I'll sneak right in there in the end and take over the show. How long after that point were you like, I think she'd laugh at my poop jokes?
I'll tell you, there was a moment. And
you better not cite a moment.
Oh, I can tell you. The year was 2020. We had just gone home for COVID. And I thought, I can say anything I want to her now. She's not in the room.
But we were doing the show.
We were still doing the show, but we were from our houses.
Yes.
It was that moment that I realized I can just say poop jokes because she can't punch me.
So Have I ever punched you?
I don't know, maybe a little bit. Maybe just like in the face.
You'd know. You'd know.
Just in the face.
Just metaphorically to my soul.
I tell you what, when and commenters, specifically balls, in our text line.
What is this show anyway?
I know.
What
If you're
is
just tuning
happening
in,
in
you're
my
like, what
life?
is happening?
I'm in the middle of contract negotiations, and I think I should just go home right now. I think
That's not a bad idea.
I think that we've really we put a pin on it.
Put a best of in this hour so that you can go negotiate, because this is not going to be good. But
wait a second, I have a new offer. If the offer is no, thank you.
Anyway, to recap.
Anyway, let's get back to the subject
December
at hand.
2025 is the last time that Google AI says that Karen Pence was mentioned by anyone ever.
What were we talking about Karen Pence for in December of 2025? If it's poop, I am quitting.
She was highlighting her efforts to combat food insecurity in Indiana.
That's an appropriate thing for Karen Pence to be
Yeah, I
doing.
know. I wouldn't mention
I'm
a poop
happy
joke
it's
at that event. It'd be inappropriate.
Did you have friends that were girls in high school? Or were you mostly a guy's buddies?
Man, I had a lot of girlfriends, not girlfriends.
Friend zone?
Friend zone. Girls loved being friends with me. They didn't want to do anything else, though. That's true.
I know this is radio, but could you hear the look on his face when he said that? Oh, my God.
And you know what else? Is I also was a complete idiot. Because I figured it out later. There was this one girl who was so hot, and she...
Is this the hottest girl in school that you
No,
approached?
it's not that one, but she was up there. They were ranked, too, sorry to say.
What is the possibility that she's still in the listening area?
Oh, she still lives in this area. We're Facebook friends. So she could be listening now. I'm not going to say her name, Danielle. But she was a friend zone friend who was unbelievably gorgeous. And she told me one time almost straight up that she's like, I got a pretty big crush on you. She didn't say it in those words. She said it like a girl does. She's like...
But was she actually saying it to the guy who was standing right behind you?
The tall guy with the muscles and the bank account.
It's like when you wave at somebody waving at you.
Wave back. Oh, she's talking to me.
That guy.
No, she was saying to me at one point, she's like, I can't tell you who I got a crush on. You know him too well. And stuff that I'm like, oh,
That's what
was
you
it
inferred?
Kevin?
That's what you inferred was about you?
Well, she told me later later she said, I was trying to hint because it was over. It wasn't going to happen. And she was like, yeah, I was trying to hint that I liked you. And I was like, dang it, what did I do? Why did this happen?
I've had those, I had a crush on
Was
a
it
girl.
Danielle?
No, her name was Lauren.
Just really spilling the tea here at 2:15 on the Annie Frey Show.
When I was in junior high, and I moved in the middle of junior high to a different school, and blah blah blah. But I kept maintaining some of my friendships, and I had a crush on her forever. And then I moved away, and I was back hanging out with my buddy. He's like, she liked you, right? I was like, no. What? Why are you telling me this now? Oh no, she's dating somebody else, but she used to have a big crush on you.
You know what else makes me mad?
I know. I think I'm about to find out.
Her dad
And another thing.
owned a big gas station. I could have been a wealthy gas station baron. And I missed it.
I thought you were going to say attendant.
Ryan in a pinstripe suit with a gigantic cigar.
You're the full-service
Standing
gas
out front of the
station guy
service
doesn't know
station.
how to pump other people's
And I'd
gas.
be big and fat, and I'd walk out and I'd go, oh, yeah, here for our gas, are you?
Fill it up.
That would have been my life. I
This
would have been so
conversation
happy.
started with poop and ended with gas. You're really something, Ryan. It's unbelievable.
It's a legend.
How many what are
Nothing.
you holding in?
Nothing.
Is it gas?
The only thing I have up
You
on the
look-
screen on all is all stuff about Karen Pence.
You look like
And it
you
just
look like
keeps
you're
making me
holding
laugh.
something.
Oh, she also was a part of a Hummingbird Charitable Foundation
How many
in
girls
Fort Wayne.
that you would have been interested in? Like, what's the percentage of those girls that maybe you never pursued or never went after or whatever? How many of those girls do you think would have actually dated you? What percentage?
100% for a day. You know what? I'll tell you. I don't think I've ever told this story. There was a girl in. I was part of some Christian group in college, Baptist Student Ministries. or something
DC
like
Talk?
Yeah, I was Toby Mac.
Was he part of DC Talk?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. There's something productive that just happened here. Go on.
Anyway, this girl, she liked, and by this time I'm like, okay, I kind of figure it out. I'm a little bit older.
I don't know if you're so stupid that you wouldn't
college.
realize this for so long, or if I don't believe that this is actually true.
This is all true.
Okay.
This girl, this made me laugh because I'm like, okay, well, at least it's a good story. She was, again, and I'm painting myself as quite a Casanova here, but this girl was very, very beautiful. And she was the one in the Baptist Student Ministries. People were like, oh, man, she's really attractive. And nobody really knew her very well. Well, I found out through the grapevine or through her flirting with me or something that she really liked me. And I'm like, ooh.
Through her flirting with me or
I don't
something?
remember. Because we weren't friends. Like, it was just like random. And so we were going on some, something activity with the student ministry. And she was like, and it was like, okay, this is going to be our opportunity to hang out a little bit. And by the end of that night, that girl hated me so bad because I wouldn't stop joking. I was probably doing poop jokes. I mean, I don't know. Nothing different. My beard was a little less gray, but nothing different about me at that point than this point. And that girl, I mean, not, I lost interest in him. Like, actively hated me because I was just joking the whole time. And I thought, at least I went down with dignity.
Did you?
I think so.
I mean,
I didn't
pretty
sell
proud
out.
of it at this point.
I didn't sell out.
Do you think... So there were plenty of boys that I had big crushes on that the worst thing that could have happened was they found out.
Well, really?
Oh, gosh, yes. Because they find out, they'd turn me down, and then that's that.
You don't want the rejection.
No. And, you know me, I don't ask boys out.
That's true.
Okay.
I don't.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I have a signed document from my husband. So don't even start.
That was signed. That was negotiated.
It's a piece of paper he tore off of something, and he wrote, I asked you out first, Jared. And he gave it to me, I think, for our anniversary. It was the nicest thing he's ever given me. And children. But other than that, what are the odds? There's no way to know because you don't know the people, but what are the odds that if those guys were talking to me, like we talk all the time on Instant Messenger over the course of years, or phone calls, or we don't really text because texting was 10 cents a pop.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine spending 10 cents for every text you send right now?
I'd make them long, maybe chunky texts.
What are the odds that those boys were interested in me when we were, because I considered it to be friend zoned. Were they thinking I friend zoned them? Where's the past tense going then? Friend zoned?
Yeah,
zoned, I think.
Were they thinking I friend zoned them and I was thinking they friend zoned me? I mean, I never said anything or let on. I think it would have maybe.
So you did have a crush on them?
Oh, yeah.
You weren't sure if they liked you, but they might have.
We would talk all the time.
I think what we're discovering
do
here.
Boys in high school have really close friends that are girls that they're not interested, maybe not like obsessing with, but not interested in dating?
Yes.
So you can have completely platonic.
Unless Brad disagrees.
Brad
with
is
me.
grunting over here.
I think it's possible, but I think it's exceedingly rare.
Oh, I don't. I had girl friends that I had no interest in. Only the hot ones, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying
those
earlier.
are the only ones you didn't have interest in?
No, those are the hot. Those are good ones.
You can't even say that with a straight face. What a jerk.
No, I do. I think it's exceedingly rare.
I disagree. I think they could have just wanted to be friends with you. But the problem is, and what we're doing is we're peeling back the layers of this flower.
If this turns sexual, I don't want to be a part of it.
You're taking it there. I'm not.
No. I'll see this conversation and raise you a saxophone.
What we're seeing is that you and these male suitors,
they were friends.
Possibly, we needed to peel back the layers so that everybody was just a little bit more open about their feelings.
How many?
I'm good with all the results.
How
lasted for
many
me.
were there of those guys roughly?
What do you mean?
That You're wondering.
I didn't
you were
have big
friends-
crushes on multiple boys at one time.
This was like a Christina Aguilera video.
But
What?
like,
She's in the middle. There's 40 guys around her.
I guess my question is like
That is not even close to my high school career.
So some of these guys were in fact in the friend zone. You didn't have crushes on them.
I had a lot of friends that were boys that I was not interested in dating.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the ones that I was good friends with, talked to outside of passing in school or in like whatever the subject was or in class or whatever.
Did they ever talk to you about other girls?
Well, what do you mean?
Like their interest in how would you go about asking this girl out? What's some advice you can give me to date this girl? That sort of thing.
No, I don't think that we really talked about other girls.
I think that they had crushes on you.
This is a really inappropriate
Ryan
question.
probably thinks they had crushes on him.
Those boys?
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe.
Why limit yourself?
Yeah, they could have. What is the oldest that a high school girl should date a guy? How old of a guy should a high school girl date? And I'm not asking for myself right now. That's why I'm saying this sounds inappropriate.
Ryan, I think you're a little elderly.
At the time, I got so mad when high school girls that were around us would be like, "Oh, I'm dating a college guy."
You're talking about underclassmen, or
just any age. I just in general.
Can you tell me what you're mad about, and I'll tell you if you should be? Your question's
There were
complicated.
girls in high school, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking probably freshman, sophomore at the time. I don't remember. That were dating guys that were not at school. They were out of high school. That made me mad because, and I've said this before.
You're like, you missed your opportunity.
Like, listen, you go date in your pool. This is our pool now. You got to swim in it. And I'm swimming in it. You need to get out.
Yeah, go to the big pool.
Yeah, go to Adult Swim over there. This is Kid Swim.
It's the kiddie pool. There's a lot of pee in it.
Why does the kid pool smell like formaldehyde?
I mean, if you're talking about like statutory circumstances here, I think that you could be
I don't want the legal term.
A 16-year-old could easily be dating an 18-year-old or maybe a 19-year-old when the circumstances of the situation make their relationship towards one another. There has to be history there. There has to be context there. You know, for instance, I was around a lot of church youth group type of stuff. And most of the people I was in there with, I went to school with since preschool. So if I would have dated someone who was 2 grades older than me, sophomore, senior, and then we graduated and it was junior, freshman in college, and now you've got a 16-year-old dating a 19-year-old, I don't think that is blanket wrong. Now, if you're Matthew McConaughey and you're like, all right, and a little bit of a problem with that.
Ugh.
Did Matthew McConaughey come to your school, or were you the Matthew McConaughey?
Oh, heck no, I was not a Matthew McConaughey. I didn't even know. Like I said before, I had no clue when a girl liked me. Now, I probably would have had the swagger of McConaughey because I didn't care about being an
Reality?
idiot. Yeah.
What a segment. We'll be right back. All right, I'm going to talk to you about Air Comfort Service and your HVAC system right now. If you are looking for someone to come to your home and check out what you got going on with your AC, maybe it's not working as well as it did last year. Maybe it wasn't working great last year and it's not working at all right now. You want experts that you can trust that are going to do the job right the first time. And those are at Air Comfort Service. Corey and his entire team, they're incredible people. First and foremost, a business with almost 60 years of experience working with people just like you. Call 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. And they're going to work to make sure that your experience with them is a very positive one. If you need a new air conditioner, you can call Air Comfort Service for a free estimate and you can qualify for Carrier Cool Cash rebates up to $2,600, plus 0% financing up to 72 months. Book your AC clean and check today. Call 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. AirComfortService.com.
Feeling sick and tired? I'm Dr. Nick Barnes of Health From Within Family Chiropractic. Our simple 5-step approach aligns your health naturally. We correct spinal abnormalities to maximize nerve supply, focus on pure and simple nutrition, exercise and oxygen, mindset, and minimizing toxins in your body. Transform your health today with Health From Within, conveniently located on Manchester in Rock Hill, or online at healthfromwithinstl.com.
Mrs. Weiland, why don't you go ahead and read the top line for me?
I should.
Next line.
Get my retirement. What's that?
Checked, Mrs. Weiland. Get your retirement checked.
Planning retirement on your own doesn't pass the eye test. Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost at Ricken Financial can help bring your retirement into focus. Call 314-207-6211. Ricken Financial, making sure your retirement vision is 2020.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Lockridge, and I'm the host of a new podcast from Odyssey called Family Lore. In this podcast, I'm going to have people on to tell unusual and sometimes far-fetched stories about their families.
I've heard my whole life that she invented the margarita.
And then we're going to investigate those stories and find out how much of it is true.
He gets a patent 1 month before the Wright brothers. Oh my God.
Please follow and listen to Family Lore, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My best advice to you when hiring a lawyer for your injury case is simple. If you know court personnel, ask them who they'd hire. They know. If you know an insurance adjuster, ask them. They know. And then ask them about us. Ask them about Morgan & Morgan. They know. I look forward to talking to you soon. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm for the people.
Injured? Dial pound law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. That we talked a little bit with Governor Kehoe at the beginning of the 1 o'clock hour. If you didn't get to hear that, you can listen to the Annie Frey Show podcast about Missouri's effort to eliminate the income tax. You know, gosh, I just think that's going to be an incredible thing for Missourians, and it's going to be even more devastating in Illinois. We've talked about how, you know, if you work in Missouri, as we do, that you pay Missouri state income tax, but there's just so every other thing that happens that creates outbound migration from Illinois makes the tax burden larger for the people who have to stay. So is Illinois going to make the right decision in November to elect the governor? I hope so. I hope that Darren Bailey wins this election, but he got beat last time. He's spending a ton of time in Chicago, got a place there, and is really going to put his efforts in I wouldn't be surprised if he's there 98% of the time, which is not what he did last time. And if he wins, the state is going to have the opportunity to come back in such a really fast, aggressive way, but still going to be limited by a Democrat supermajority in Springfield. So that's a problem too. You just look at a state like Missouri and just think like the opportunities that exist when you have some common sense governorship. It's just so much different. Your elected officials matter a whole lot. You guys want to do next question?
Yep.
All right. Next question.
Next question. It's a legitimate question.
Next question.
Next question, please.
Next question on the Annie Frey Show.
You want to go first, Ryan?
Do you read books? Follow up. Do you read actual paper books? Follow up. Do you?
The show ends at 3.
What's
Ryan.
the last book you read?
I don't read paper books, and I do a lot of Audible. Hold on a second. I am trying to think. I'm looking at my Audible app to see what's the last one that I finished. I read a lot of books for guests that I'm going to have on. I listen to them in 2.5 speed. It's super fast. The last book I downloaded was The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis. Nothing is Impossible with God by Shannon Bream.
C.S. Lewis is great, but I've never read The Great Divorce.
I have the Federalist Papers here. Tame Your Thoughts by Max Lucado. The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis.
That's a good one.
A lot of them are not finished. Because I have a certain amount of time to listen to them, and I dedicate it, and I get through most of it, and then I just don't get back into it. I cannot sit down and read a paper book. Can't do it.
So I almost never listen to books because I don't have time to listen to them, and because anytime I'm here, I'm doing audio, so you can't like do audio while you're doing audio. So I only read paper books because I don't have a Kindle or anything. And the last one I read was House on the Borderland, which is an old horror novel.
What kind of novel?
Horror novel.
Here we go.
What kind of boats?
I'll tell you what.
Big ones.
The old horror novels.
Horror.
They're a lot less spicy than the new ones.
What was the name of the book? Did you like it?
House on the Borderland. It's part of the reason I'm reading it is because I'm writing based on the world it's created. But it's fun. It's a super fun book to read. It's really scary.
What about you, Brad?
I tend to listen to audiobooks. The last 2 audiobooks I listened to, the last audiobook I listened to was Joe Concha's book, The Greatest Comeback Ever, which was great, and he narrates it in the audiobook, and it's awesome. But I'll also read a paperback book. Last paperback book I read was Tyrus's first book. Was that just Tyrus? And I really enjoy them. If your book grabs my attention and sucks me in, I'll read a paperback book over the course of a day or 2. I'll find a spot and I'll just sit down and I'll just start reading and go. And then I listen to the books whenever I'm driving to and from work. And I've had a lot more time to do that now that there's all that traffic on 64. So my book listening time gets longer. I'm thinking about downloading Alito that Molly Hemingway just released on Tuesday and listening to that one because that book intrigues me.
I have a question. I don't think I've asked this yet. Is there a reason you were given your name?
I don't think so.
Have I asked that recently? I don't think I have.
We've asked questions about names, like what were you almost named or something like that. But what's weird is that my name, not Wiggins, I don't even know what it means. I think it's just a long, old British name that I'm not even sure if it means anything.
Wiggins isn't that long.
Well, I mean, long history. Like very old.
It's like
it's
7
not
letters.
a long name. No, but my name means Little Entertainment King.
No,
Isn't that
it
weird?
does not.
It does. It
Ryan
does.
means that?
Ryan Robert.
Robert does mean king.
Little Entertainment King.
Ryan means Little Entertainer.
See, I told you he was 5'4",
Little
Brad.
King.
I don't know that my parents had a reason for naming me what they named me. I know that their name choices came down to 2, and it was either Brad or Sam. And so, for whatever reason, they decided on Brad. And I couldn't tell you what my name means because I don't know what that means.
According to the AI overview on Google,
Here
What
we
does
go.
it say?
Wiggins is primarily a surname of English Norman origin, meaning, quote, son of the warrior, or high and noble. As slang, it signifies the creeps, fear, or anxiety that often used as, quote, getting the Wiggins.
What? Never heard
It
that
is
before.
also used to
I love
describe
that.
acting crazy, often associated with the phrase wigging out.
Yeah, I've heard that. So, getting the creeps.
Son of the warrior.
And also, my grandpa's name was Norman.
Son of the little entertainer warrior king. High and noble.
See?
That's your ancestor, Ryan Shire Wigglesworth.
That's right.
Which is how your name is in my phone. So when you text me on the way home and my kids are in the car,
Ryan
it's like, text message from Ryan Shear Wigglesworth. Makes my kids laugh every time.
I'm going to have to do that more often.
Same thing.
Just a dot. Doesn't even say anything.
Period.
I asked my parents this question when I wrote this down to ask you guys. I was like, I should probably know the answer to this because I did not know if I had a special name. And they said essentially that they had a friend whose name was Anne and she was nice. And they thought they'd call me Annie. But Anne means grace. And that is why my Evelyn's middle name is Grace, because Grace is a cooler middle name than Anne, which is a bit overused.
Yeah, it's a common middle name. Is it still, though? It probably isn't.
Yeah,
as much
it's still
as it
named
was.
Grace, Evelyn Grace. We didn't
No,
change
I
it.
mean Anne being a common middle name.
Probably.
Everybody's middle name.
Anne is a really easy middle name. So my middle name's Elizabeth, which I don't know what that means. Never looked that up.
I wonder if anybody has a weird middle name in this whole office. Like Ethan's middle name was actually Durfin Donovan or Dumpy
What
Doo.
would the odds be? Brad, next question.
Yeah. So what is a memory that you either go back to or whenever you recall it, and it's like a recurring memory, that just gives you that little hit of joy every time you think about it?
My babies.
Yeah, the birth of my children would be what I should say.
But that sucked. It was really a painful time for you. I remember you said you wanted to have the babies during the day and not the night when your wife decided to go into labor.
Because I was going to be so tired. And it's true. It started at like 10:30. And I was
Yeah,
like,
you know what? You know what would cure that problem? Twins.
We already had the twins at that point. That was our third
You were
one.
mad about the second birth?
No, the third one.
Well, the second birth.
Yeah, the second birthing process from a birthing person.
So you had seen a few things, you knew a few things, and you're like, I'd like this to be in the afternoon, for me.
I just knew I would be there more for her.
Oh, shut up.
If it were in the day.
Available.
Right. I knew that I would get a little loopy. I will say this. When the twins were born, I had so many people
Did she have
telling
a C-section? She
No.
did not,
No,
correct?
she
had twins, the
They
non-C-section
were
way.
induced, but they were normal birth. I had so many people telling me about, this moment and the way you're going to feel and blah, blah, blah. Like so much.
You did what Ryan does, and you're like, I'm going to do the exact opposite.
I didn't try to, but I thought, I'm supposed to be feeling all this stuff. And I didn't really know what I was feeling. I was just there because that's what was happening. And I remember cutting the umbilical cord and then seeing the babies for the first time in the little, rocker thing that's under the heat lamp, whatever that is. Yeah, the incubator. I was like, what am I supposed to feel right now?
Like the thing you grow marijuana in.
I'm supposed to feel joy and love.
Marijuana and babies.
And I don't really know that I'm feeling any of those things. When I look back on it, I do. But in the moment, it was very confusing.
Weren't you scared?
No, I just felt
You were just sleepy.
The second time I was just
very
tired.
bothered by this.
No, I just felt like I was missing out. Like
Mrs. Wiggins, I can't believe you do this to me.
Everybody else has these amazing experiences. I've heard people say when they held their babies for the first time, it was like
I talked
God
to someone.
spoke to them.
I talked to someone this morning who said that their husband was agnostic, willing to support the Catholicism of this person, and they said that when their baby was born, he looked at her and said, "There's a God, and I know it."
That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm like, that's wild. It's a huge swing. I mean, it's different to be on the female side of things, of course. So I think the male experience there is going to be very different. But I think you hyped yourself up too much.
I did. And it ended up being a weird experience because of it.
Yeah.
Now, the children were wonderful, and they are wonderful.
Thanks for the disclaimer.
So when I think back to it, I think about it fondly.
Yeah.
But it was a weird experience.
You just set expectations.
They were set too high.
And you let other people define it for you.
Because I didn't know.
If you would have had those pre-conversations with people, you would have experienced it in your own right.
Right. So anyway, Brad, that probably answers your
what was
question,
the
right?
best? Wait, no, you said what was the memory?
The memory.
You,
So
you were
that's
going to
not
give us
it.
the time you ate your first butterscotch Snickers. Go on.
I mean, it's pretty close to that.
Little hit of
It's
joy.
moments when I'm with my kids on vacation that I think back to. That we were just, there's nothing else going on. We're just there experiencing something. I think back to those times.
I would say that is certainly something that I would share my family is a Disney family, and I've said this before, but having a repeat place that you go to chronicles the time that passes, but for the moment that you're there, time stops while you're there, and you have this experience. And we've tried to prioritize. We've gone to Disney with both Jared's parents and my parents. We've brought cousins that have gone along, and so we've tried to make sure those memories get shared with other people. But I would honestly say that the most joy, I think my family would probably agree with us, but our favorite time of the year is the week between Christmas and New Year's, when everybody is off and we sit around and we act like total bums for a week, because we are a very busy family, a lot of obligations that we enjoy. All of those obligations. We love our jobs. We have a lot of school activities that we participate in, of course. But for a week, none of that happens. And we play video games. We watch movies. We make breakfast for dinner. And it's just a really great moment in time. So I'd say that. What about you, Brad?
I go back, like the one spot that I always smile when I think about is I got to play catch with my grandpa. So my dad was the youngest of 7, and so my grandpa was in his 40s when he had my dad. So for my whole life, he was always, more old than most grandpas were. And he would tell us stories about how he used to catch when he played baseball. His brother went on and played AAA ball and all this other stuff. And so like a big part of our childhood was sitting at his feet listening to baseball stories and listening to Jack Buck and all this other stuff. So a lot of our relationship revolved around, farming, baseball, and racing. And, me and my brother would go over there, and I think I was about 10 years old, and we would be playing catch. And then one time he's just sitting at the picnic table. He couldn't walk very well because arthritis had hurt his body. His hands and knuckles were swollen from that. And he's like, I wonder if I could play catch still. And he asked my brother for his glove, and he grabbed my brother's glove, and we played catch maybe for 5 minutes. But to be able to play catch with my grandpa at least once, and then I gave my glove to my brother, and they played catch, and to have that memory of my grandpa and being able to play catch with that's something that I'll treasure for the rest of my life.
I had all 4 of my grandparents up until I was 18, so I grew up with them as well, and I can think of times with them, just particular things. I used to take my paternal grandma to Sam's to grocery shop. I've talked about this before, but she always wanted to go to Sam's, and she always had a Sam's list, but there were just 2 of them, but we were buying in bulk. But you just did it. Grandma wanted to go to Sam's. We buy toilet paper twice a year. Okay, fine. But I used to talk about this a lot too when my mom's mom was still around. Every Sunday night we would play pinochle at my grandma's house, and when my grandpa was still here, we played then too. And it's fun to play cards and to sit around and just like everybody in my family is obnoxiously competitive. And we're all pretty good card players, but I miss that now that that's not gone yet. Now that's gone too.
I thought it was really cool. I used to play catch with Brad's grandpa so much that it almost got old. And so for him to be like, "Wow, this is really neat,"
Ryan's a lot older than I am, and so my grandpa
you guys
was
were on the
younger
same
at the time.
team. All right, we'll be right back in a minute. Don't go away. Todd Sivia and Sivia Law. Have you called them yet? I hope you have. If you've called them and you've set up your strategy session and you mention my name, then you know that you're going to get that strategy session fee waived. You're not going to have to pay for it. $300 fee waived when you call 833-995-WILL to talk to Sivia Law about establishing an estate plan. This is so important. It will alleviate a lot of worry and anxiety that you have that kind of weighs you down a little bit when you're thinking about the future, and maybe your friends lost their mom or dad and you're watching them go through the probate, and it's such a complicated process. Probate sucks up so much time and so much money. Just having an estate plan established, putting together a trust with a trusted attorney, this is the way to avoid all of that. You'll have peace of mind when you do that. Mention my name, Annie, when you call 833-995-WILL. That's 833-995-WILL. And get that strategy session fee waived online at civialaw.com.
Warm weather means more storms, and you never know when the high winds or the hail might damage your roof. Mark Cox here from my friends at Corel Roofing Company. If you haven't had your roof inspected in the last 5 years, you need to call Curtis Corel and get that inspection to check for leaks and for damage. We've already had small hailstorms this spring, and we're not quite a year out from the big hailstorm last May. Your window may be closing to file an insurance claim connected to that. Now, here's what Curtis tells me. They are getting roofs approved for insurance claims from that 2024 storm with no problem. They're so good at what they do. The insurance companies respect and respond to them. Consider this part of your spring maintenance for your home and call Curtis today and get him out there. He did my new roof, and it looks fantastic. You're going to love working with him. They specialize in all the luxury roof shingle lines. Call 314-222-9529 or go online today to CorelRoofingCo.com.
The ACA Market Plan has just announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg, and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to GregHammonds.com. That's GregHammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio every Saturday at 2, right here on 97.1 FM Talk, and you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLP, member FINRA and SIPC.
We're going to give you the results of the YouTube live chat poll here shortly. It's what's your best explanation for the dead and missing scientists? Is it foreign interference? Is it the U.S. industrial complex got involved? Is it aliens? Or is there no conspiracy, no explanation needed? I've seen a couple people on the text line saying that they think that there is no conspiracy here, saying something along the lines of, well, how many scientists are there in the United States? 10,000.
What do you think is going to be higher, aliens or no conspiracy?
No conspiracy.
Brad, what do you think will be higher?
Oh, no conspiracy will be higher.
Okay, we'll find out soon.
2:49. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, we were 3 for 3 in here that our best explanation for the missing scientists, the dead scientists, is U.S. industrial complex, right? All three of us said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we think that in one way or shape or form, we are involved.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, give us your votes, youtube.com/@AnnieFrey. Before we go, a couple more Ask Us Anything questions. Next question. You want to do the listener one first?
Yeah, this comes from the text line 314-241-9797. It says, can we team up, from a listener, can we team up in pickleball and crush Brad and Ryan? That's the listener and you.
Wow.
Team up.
What an offer.
To crush Brad and Ryan.
I need to know who they are.
I think it's balls.
Is he good?
I don't know. He didn't say.
He doesn't know.
Are you good at pickleball?
Never played.
Are you?
I know I'm not.
I played in high school.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun then, but I haven't played since.
I hated it in high school.
I would love, you know what?
Brad, it was high school. He hated it.
Anything in high school. Brad probably didn't.
Wouldn't it be crazy if he was a pickleball fiend in high school and it was like his favorite thing ever?
Mad respect.
It's the only thing that I got credit for.
We're like, hey, hang on, that guy's really good at pickleball.
No, it's the pickleball
statue
session.
Erected in his honor in Freeburg. Pickleball statue. I don't know. I'm playing volleyball right now in the YMCA league, and I can still play volleyball, but I am definitely in my 40s. It's so sad. Pickleball seems to be the thing that people like to do to stay active, and there does not seem to be an age limit on it. Are you good at it?
Pickleball?
Yeah.
Well,
Have you
I don't
ever played?
know. I like I just said, I did in high school, but I haven't played recently. And I was good in high school, but who knows what that means now.
I would agree to do that if there was a benefit of some kind. Wouldn't have to be to me. It
All right.
definitely can't be to Ryan.
Somebody sponsor that, and we'll do it.
Here's my next question. Ethan was requesting a show golf outing earlier this week. And I said if we do that, we would need to scramble. What are the teams? I think I know what I want teams to be.
I've played enough with you two at different St. Clair golf events.
I think I've only ever played tops in total 3 holes.
That's enough. We've seen each other play. We know a little bit about how we play.
I don't even know if I could do what I did then, and I don't know what I did then. Was I okay?
Yeah, everybody was okay. But I don't know anything about Ethan. Ethan is either going to be really good at golf or terrible. Like he's got his old man dusty bag from the back of the garage.
Yeah, but he's really good.
No, he would be bad if he had that.
Who do you want to play? Who do you want as teammate?
Just to win? Or
what
to make
else
it fair?
is there, Ryan?
If it's just to win, I'll go with Brad.
Yeah? Okay, well, let's make it so.
Okay.
If you think that's how you win. I know nothing about Ethan, and I'll take my
I
chances
think you and
on
I
him.
could probably win too, but I just
You don't want to
Ethan's
play
the
with
wild
me.
card. I just don't know. Yeah,
I
don't wanna
think
be
we
on your
to win,
team.
but I don't like the other.
I think it'd be more fun to play against you. So I think if we did it, it would have to be me and Brad, and then you and Ethan. But you would either be playing with a ringer. You either got the A or the D.
Me?
In the scramble. I don't know which. He's out there. He's probably listening.
Pretty sure I have the. Well, never mind. It's just not appropriate. Next question. It just isn't. It's too personal.
All right.
I think I know.
Next question for the law. We're running out of time.
What is a fear that you've outgrown?
Saying stupid things on the air.
I ain't afraid of that at all.
Yeah, making a fool of myself.
Yeah, it's done. People know.
Yeah.
Don't need to hide that anymore. A fear I've outgrown. What's a fear you've outgrown? Brad?
Oh, me? I would say roller coasters. Roller coasters used to terrify me, and now I absolutely love them. The faster, the taller, the better.
For me,
Why do you look like that? Why you got your nose so far up in the air? What's your problem?
Because I was about to do a thing.
I didn't know that you
Let
were.
me do the thing.
What's this character's
I
name?
was going to do this. For me, it's Goosebumps books. I could just read one of those right now. I don't even care anymore. See?
Junior R.L. Stein.
I was doing that.
Don't give me those no fear books. I'll stick to the Goosebumps. Thanks a lot. Man, there's a contingent of listeners right now. They're like, Goosebumps and No Fear? These are my people.
Exactly. I can read one of those. No problem right now.
Answer the question for real.
The lights off.
I don't know. Probably dark, actually. I'm not really afraid of the dark anymore. I used to be.
When did you get past it?
Probably a couple years ago.
Have you seen the movie Can't Hardly Wait?
No.
No? You remind me exactly of, in my mind, in high school, you were Preston from Can't Hardly Wait. Gets Jennifer Love Hewitt in the end, for the record. So you can
Sounds about right.
Go watch that movie this weekend and be like, that's me. He's a guy who wears shirts. But anyway.
After you watch the Burleson interview, though.
The fear of being wrong, maybe? Like, and caring what everybody else thinks about it. Like, if you're wrong, it's okay to just be like, I was wrong, I'm sorry. And then you just move on.
That's very personal. I feel like we've really pulled back the layers of that flower.
Well, I haven't been wrong yet, so I'm not too...
Hard to be afraid of something that you never do.
And that's a wrap.
What's your best Ethan's not even working anymore. Where is he even at?
I know we called him out a couple times this hour.
Yeah, we need proof of life, Mark Reardon. Send him in here. What's your best explanation for the dead and missing scientists? 10% say aliens, 17% say no conspiracy, 28% agree with us, U.S. industrial complex, 45% say foreign interference. Hey, there's Ethan. Hey!
So beat the drum with me.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
Save money on elevated airline fares and fees by getting their loyalty credit card.
If you're loyal to a particular airline, it often makes sense to get their credit card.
Bankrate's Ted Rossman says you don't have to be a road warrior to save money. That annual credit card fee includes perks like free checked bags.
Recoup that fee in one fell swoop. I mean, a lot of these checked bag fees are now $50 a pop.
I'm Rob Hart.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I am grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application will vary. Online help questions required.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house.